It feels every bit December. 34 degrees. We got a slight breeze. It is sunny, but it's not warming people up here in Nashville this afternoon. The flip of the coin, and it was won by the Tennessee Titans. You see Neil Rackers. They'll be kicking off for Houston. And deep back will be rookie Mark Mariani. He's out of Montana, Solomon. He's had a kickoff return this season for a touchdown and a punt return touchdown for the Titans.
We've seen his speed and his ability to jump start the offense by setting the table with excellent field position.
A couple minutes ago, you just said you think there'll be a lot of scoring in this game this afternoon.
I really do. I believe the offenses for both football teams are playing well. And I think Kerry Collins gives balance to the Tennessee Titans on offense.
5-8 against 5-8, the Texans and the Titans, and away we go from Nashville up into that bright Tennessee sun from the 2. Mariani. He'll bounce outside, then forced out of bounds by McManus. Sherritt McManus. That's a 23-yard return. This takes us to the longtime quarterback in the NFL with a variety of teams. Kerry Collins, you liked his practice on Friday.
The 16-year veteran is healthy. He's happy. He feels really good. And I think he wants to open some eyes in these final 3 games of the regular season. He's coming off a really good contest and performance, 244 yards in their last game.
During the return, personal foul, low block. Colts. Kicking team number 30. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down, Tennessee.
That's Jason Allen, who is called for the penalty right off the bat for Kubiak's Houston Texans, as they explained it to him across the way. And so the penalty will push the ball up to the 40, and very good beginning field position for Tennessee. There is a breeze here today, as we said, about 4 miles an hour, and it's negligible on the field. So it looks like the kicking and the throwing for both quarterbacks should pretty much be intact. And there's some movement on the line, and we saw Okoye on the defensive line for Tennessee for the Houston Texans jump just a bit.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Okoye leads that defensive line in tackles. That's already 2 quick penalties against Houston.
Slow starts have been the recipe for the Houston Texans. This is just a mental error for Omobe Okoye. He's got to be able to hold his water and not invade that neutral zone area.
On 1st and 5 for Collins. Outside he goes. Nice knock away across the way by Kareem Jackson. And they were looking for Kenny Britt. It'll be second down. Make it, second down and 5. Velasco takes the place of the injured Eugene Amato, who was put on the IR this week with neck injuries. And in the weaponry category, you see Stevens getting the start today for both Scaife. He is a healthy scratch at the tight end position, the usual starter for the Tennessee Titans. It's second down and 5. Johnson stood up and taken down. The linebacking core got a hold of him right there. They don't allow any gain on the play. And a nice hit in there, and it was registered by Sharpton. You see Anderson on that line. Mario Williams put on the IR this week with a sports hernia. We'll see Jamison at that defensive end as well for the Texans this afternoon. Ryan Cushing is the reigning AFC Defensive Rookie of the Year, coming off perhaps his best game of the season on Monday night in Houston against Baltimore. And Glover Quinn had the 3 picks against this offense in the meeting on November 28th. 3rd and 5. Nice catch by Kenny Britt. That's a first down. Working across the way to the 44-yard line on 3rd and 5. He picks up 11, and they work on the rookie Kareem Jackson.
And this is something they did not have in their Week 12 contest against Houston when Rusty Smith was the starter. It's just a veteran presence at the quarterback position, and I think Houston knows what they're going to get for Kerry Collins. When we watched him on practice on Friday, the ball never hit the ground, Kevin. He was just throwing BBs. Excellent completion and accuracy.
So 11 right there. 1st and 10 to the Texan 44. Chris Johnson poking his way across the way. It looked like Kareem Jackson among a couple that knocked him out, and a gain of 3, and they'll spot him at the 41-yard line.
Well, he expects to get more than the 5 yards on 7 carries. Did Chris Johnson have in that Week 12 contest when they lost to Houston 20-0. He says, look, it's hard to do anything. If you don't get 20 carries in a ball game, if I only get 7 times to touch the ball, you can't expect much. And I know Jeff Fisher wants to make sure that Chris Johnson gets ample amount of carries in this game today.
No Randy Moss yet. 2nd down and 7. Collins hit by Sharpton. Brought down on the play. Looked like maybe Earl Mitchell got in there. He did. Mitchell is the rookie from Arizona. Streaming up the middle. It's a sack and a loss of 7. Put him back at the 49.
Yeah, they come right up the gut through the A gap into the face of the quarterback, Kerry Collins. I think when you have a veteran quarterback like Collins, you know he's not a real scrambler. I think you got to get pressure in his face, not necessarily off the edges, because all they'll do is step up in the pocket, have a clear view down the field. But when you get pressure in their face, they tend to be less accurate throwing the ball.
Jason Allen comes in, 1 of 6 defensive backs for Houston. It's 3rd and 15. They need the 34. Collins, that's the tight end Cook. But well shy of the first down. Gets down to about the 41-yard line. And Cook with the gain of 8 on the reception. The hit by Bernard Powell. And they got a punt to the... Oh, they're going to go for it on 4th down.
How about this? This is Collins just watching Cook coming across the formation. Nice hit, nice stick on defense, and you talked about it. Titans know they've got to stay on the field. They've got to protect their defense against this potent offense for Houston, so they go for it on 4th down.
4th and 8. 5 defensive backs here for the Texans. 4th and 8, and again they need the 34. Collins always got his receiver. That's the rookie, Damian Williams, all the way down inside the 5 to the 3 of the Houston Texans. Good looking throw by Collins. 39-yard catch by Williams. They were working on Bernard Pollard.
Yeah, and it starts with max protection. Look, they keep everyone in to make a nice, clean pocket for Collins, and then they get open down the field, beating Eugene Wilson. Does Hawkins getting down the field, and it's just an excellent throw and a great catch.
On 4th and 8.
Yeah, that is wonderful.
So the gamble pays off for Jeff Fisher and the Titans, who have got it 1st and goal at the 3 with a couple of tight ends here for Kerry Collins. Johnson tries to cut and then slips. Jason Allen over there among a couple to make the stop for the Texans, and no gain on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and goal.
I think you can do more things like that. Remember, the Titans have had 10 days to prepare since that Thursday night game against the Indianapolis coach Jeff Fisher, getting the extra time to get ready for the Houston Texans, who've only had 6 days to prepare after playing 5 quarters of playing into overtime in the Monday night loss to the Baltimore Ravens.
I was there for that game. That was a heartbreaking loss for Houston. 2nd down and goal at the 3. Collins hit as he throws. That's caught for a touchdown. Nate Washington, a 3-yard grab.
And it's just business as usual for Kerry Collins. And I told you at the top, I thought he would have this kind of game. He gets off to a really good start. It starts with protection. You can see the block by Chris Johnson, and then the nice throw into the end zone to Nate Washington.
So Collins makes the touchdown pass, his 9th of the season. Nate Washington grabs his 6th touchdown of the year. The next Pittsburgh Steeler. And now Baronis will try to tack on one more. And it is 7-0 Tennessee. Big plays. They had the 11-yard pass to Britt, a 31-yard pass to Williams, and then right on the money, Collins to Washington. 7-0 Tennessee. Good looking drive by the number 28 offense in the NFL of Tennessee.
You know, and sometimes numbers do tell you the whole story. The Houston Texans have struggled to keep teams out of the end zone throwing the football. They've now allowed a league-high 30 touchdown passes, and I believe the Titans are well aware of that coming into today's game.
So here's Baronis with the kickoff. Steve Slayton will get the ball at the 6. The backup running back, Arian Foster. He's got some blockers, including Vontae Leach, and up the sideline he goes, and then Baronis got him up around the chops and knocks him down, along with a couple others near the 44-yard line. A 50-yard return. Good looking passing by Collins. He got Britt for 11. He got Williams for 31, and then Tater with Washington from 3. You mentioned before about Houston and some slow starts.
Yeah, but whenever they get the ball in plus territory on the other side of the 50-yard line, they score 69% of the time. So this is a favorable opportunity.
So here's a 1st and 10. That's Dreesen, the tight end, with the catch at about the 37-yard line. He had Tulloch over there watching him. Will Witherspoon, a couple of linebackers on a gain of 7. Matt Schaub is a top 10 quarterback in a lot of significant passing categories in the NFL.
The key for Schaub today, a short memory after that interception in overtime on Monday night against the Baltimore Ravens.
Arian Foster is in the backfield. 2nd down and 3 for Schaub. Foster. And a pile brings him down at about the 36-yard line on the play. Led again by Witherspoon. It's a gain of 2. Let's take a look at that Texan offense. Brizell is out, and Caldwell will be taking his place for the rest of the season at the right guard. He started a couple other places on that line. You see the pretty good weapons he's got, including Andre Johnson, but Foster comes in today as the #1 rusher in the NFL.
Well, he gives this offense balance. They had always been able to throw the football down the field, and now their ability to run it equally as well. I think it virtually makes this offense unstoppable.
Foster was in motion. 3rd down and 1. He can't get Foster. That's a miss right there on that 3rd and 1. That's the first time all season long the Houston Texans have missed a 3rd and 1. And now it is 4th down, and they're going to go for it, much like Tennessee went for a 4th and 8 on their first possession.
Yeah, they had converted 100% of the times at 3rd and 1. 16 for 16. Should have converted that one. It was just a bad throw by Schaub. Foster was wide open on the play.
Couple tight ends. Leach is in. 4th and 1. Foster. Oh, he was drilled. There was no place to go. Chris Hope was coming up from the secondary. It's a loss of 3 on the play. And also the linebacker coming in. Tim Shaw, 59 on downs. It goes back to the Tennessee Titans.
Wow, they slammed the door shut on Arian Foster and the Houston Texans.
The AFC South right now has an unlikely team on top. That's the first place Jacksonville Jaguars. They had a good win over Oakland. They're 8-5.
They control their own destiny. And how about the Colts? They have to beat Jacksonville at home today. And if you're the Houston Texans, you need some help. You're rooting for the Colts to beat the Jaguars. If you're the Titans, you're rooting for the Colts to beat the Jaguars as well. As you take a look at the remaining schedules, you know, both teams need a lot of help. But as Jeff Fisher has said, hey, until they tell us we're out, we're going to keep hope alive.
I like that from the 39 after the defense of the Titans holds the Texans on downs. 1st and 10 from the 39 for Collins. Going deep, and that is on the deflection. It's caught by Britt. Stiff arms inside the 5, and he's down to about the 1. Where will they spot it? Now at the 2. Deflected off the fingertips. It looked like a Troy Nolan. Let's take another look.
Wow, this is shades of the Hail Mary against the Houston Texans for that game in Jacksonville. This ball should be intercepted. Look at the Houston Texans back there, fighting one another for the ball. And then there is Britt. He's able to come away with it. And boy, there was only one Tennessee Titan player back there amongst 3 Houston Texans defender. The one Titan comes down with it. And this is why this Texas secondary has been beaten repeatedly.
It was off Nolan's hands. 1st and goal. Chris Johnson bouncing, chased, shoved out of bounds. Bentley, the middle linebacker, knocks him out of play with no D'Amico Ryans, injured early in the season. Bentley is right in there. It's a loss of 3 on the play. They're going to put him back near the 5.
Oh, the Houston Texans, they just can't get out of their own way in the first half of ball games.
You're right.
I mean, they get off to these slow starts, and it's just like Andre Johnson told us. He said, we wait for something bad to happen before we start to play in the second half. Already with their backs up against the wall, with such a short time to prepare during the week for Gary Kubiak's group.
Damian Lewis is coming on that defensive line for Houston. It is 2nd down and goal at the 5. More movement. And let's see if it was on Michael Roos, the left tackle, 71. They've also brought in Mike Otto to play like a 3rd tight end on that
neutral
line.
zone infraction. Defense, number 51, is in the neutral zone, causing the offense to false start. Half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
The linebacker Sharpton.
They continue to make mistakes. As you can see, the points scored first half versus second half by the Houston Texans. You can see putting up huge numbers. 2nd in the National Football League in terms of their overall production in the second half. But boy, they're at the bottom in terms of what they do in the first half of the ball game.
It's second down and goal at the 2. They had Britt cutting in, and Collins thought it was going outside. It was an incomplete pass to Britt, who just caught a pass of 59 yards in the first drive. Caught one of 11 yards for the Titans.
Kevin, this ball is going to be tipped right at the line of scrimmage. Take a look at it. See, it's wobbled, so that's why it ends up behind the intended receiver. Take a look at the hand of the defensive lineman. Look at them. They're all getting crowded. I think that's Damian Lewis, number 97, was able to get his hand up and prevent the completion.
4 defensive backs, third and goal at the 2 for Collins. Chris Johnson hit at the 1, wrapped up on the play. Lewis on that line was amongst the first to give the bear hug to Chris Johnson. You can hear the crowd. They are cheering on Jeff Fisher to go for it, and they will go for it on 4th and goal at the 1.
And what did the Titans tell us when we met with them? They said, hey, we're going to have to put some points on the scoreboard. They know the Houston Texans can light it up in the second half. They watched the tapes of that Baltimore Raven game when they came back from the 21-point deficit.
4th and goal at the 1. Floating it for Gage, and the former college basketball player. Got it! Touchdown! They beat Glover Quinn. Collins' second touchdown pass today. That was a 1-yarder to Gage.
Practice makes perfect. This is what we saw from the Titans in practice during the week. Putting the ball in the air from Kerry Collins to a number of different receivers. They executed in the game perfectly. Remember, Glover Quinn had 3 interceptions 3 weeks ago against the Titans when Rusty Smith got the start. And now they go after him down inside the red zone.
Again, down by a lot of points to begin a game. And Barones makes it 14-0 Tennessee. 6.5 to play in the first quarter of play. Britt caught one for 59. Beautifully timed pass here. The touchdown. Gage got it from the quarterback, Kerry Collins. His second touchdown pass today. Same story, same script for Houston as Tennessee's gotten 2 early touchdown passes by quarterback Kerry Collins.
Yeah, the Titans know that they need all the points they can get going into the second half when the Texans normally get hot on offense.
Slayton had a kickoff return of 50 yards the last time. This one will be out of his reach, bouncing out of the end zone with the touchback to the 20-yard line and a 1st and 10 coming up for Schaub and Houston.
Let's take a look at that long pass play to Kenny Britt down the field, and watch. You're going to see the number of guys back there in the secondary, and you're just going to see how many guys get back there. And look, this ball shouldn't even be thrown. Look, there's only 1 offensive player. Look at that. 1 offensive player versus 3 for the Houston Texans, and that pass should be intercepted. Nonetheless, Kenny Britt comes down with it. They have to do a better job at defending the pass for Houston.
Finnegan and Johnson, bottom of your screen. 1st and 10, Arian Foster. Picked up on the play. It's a gain of 1. Let's go to James Brown in New York.
Hey, Kevin and Solomon, Indy trying to keep its playoff hopes alive. Take a look here at Peyton Manning, play action, capping an 8-play, 82-yard drive, 7-yard strike there to Austin Collie, and the Colts on top, 7-0 late in the first. Back to Kevin Harlan and Solomon Wilcox.
Well, if the Colts win, these 2 teams here, the winner will stay alive, as will the Colts in the South.
Both teams today are rooting for the Indianapolis Colts in that game against Jacksonville.
2nd down and 9. Arian Foster. Grabbed from behind. Nice defensive play right there, and shooting the gap and coming through Will Witherspoon. He throws him for a loss of 3 on the play, back to the 17-yard line. There's Jason Babbitt. He now plays for Tennessee, and he's got 10 sacks this season. He was a high draft pick, a number 1 pick years ago by the Texans. Linebackers, Tulloch is the leading tackler, but Witherspoon has had 3 early solo tackles so far. And you see the secondary, a lot of eyes on Finnegan. 3rd and 13. They need the 31. Schaub. Andre Johnson. Tulloch makes the stop after a gain of 4. They're going to spot him at the 21-yard line, and so another quick exit for the offense. 3 and out for the Houston Texans.
Kevin, we said that this Titans defense is going to have to pick their poison in terms of who they're going to stop, Arian Foster or Andre Johnson. I think Jeff Fisher's really got his defense dialed in that on early downs, when you know Houston's going to run it, you've got to slam the door shut on Arian Foster. Try to force this team into 3rd and long on offense.
15-year veteran Matt Turk will punt for the Houston Texans, and Mariani is back inside the 35 for Tennessee. Straight up, no distance, and then into the hands of Gleason. Wow. Horrible punt by Turk. Look at where the Titans will start things after that 23-yard boot. Poor punt by Houston. Look where the Titans are going to start things.
Excellent field position. They can pile the points on here in the early going against this Houston Texans defense.
Hall will be in the backfield. 2 early touchdown passes by quarterback Kerry Collins on 1st and 10. Oh, it was dropped. Amon Hall jumping on the ball very quickly. 2nd down and 10. By the way, the 2010 Texans are the only team in NFL history to come back from 14-plus point deficits to tie or regain the lead in 4 games only to lose. Remember at Jacksonville, the Hail Mary. They lost on that play. At the Jets, they scored 24th quarter points, losing with seconds left. At Philadelphia, trailed by 14 in the first half, came back and had a chance to win, but fumbled late. And then against Baltimore, they trailed 28-7, forced overtime, and lost on 2nd down and 10. Quick gainer down to the 35-yard line. That's Chris Johnson, and he picks up 9. He's over 1,000 yards again this season for this Tennessee team.
Yeah, Kevin, you know, just to go back to what Gary Kubiak is dealing with, 3 times they've lost games on the final play. In overtime and in regulation on a Hail Mary play, as you showed there against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Jets, a play to Santonio Holmes. They have to play better on defense just to give themselves a chance to win it going away.
3rd and 1. Big sweep. Chris Johnson. First down of bounds on the far side. Looks like he's got the first down, picking up 3. Scampering down to the 32-yard line. A host of players forced him out of bounds, including Sharpton and that guy, Glover Quinn.
You know, much to the credit of the Houston Texans. Remember, their owner, Bob McNair, came out and said, hey, he admired the way they played, the way they came from behind in that Monday night game. Now, he didn't admire the outcome. He still wants to win. He wants Gary Kubiak's team to be able to finish. But remember, they're playing without their quarterback on defense, D'Amico Ryans. They're playing without Mario Williams, missing some really top players on defense.
1st and 10 for Collins. Dropped by Chris Johnson. Coverage on the play by the middle linebacker Bentley. It'll be 2nd down and 10 as we take you to New York and James Brown.
Kevin, New Orleans and Baltimore, both teams need a win and some help to get into the postseason. Take a look at Joe Flacco here, capping a 9-play, 76-yard drive. That one to Ed Dixon. He takes it 34 yards to pay dirt, and we're all knotted in Baltimore at 7-all. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
Dixon is a rookie tight end with Heap injured. They're going to rely on him. Baltimore, you mentioned before, had that big Monday night win down in Houston.
Yeah, they've got to keep pace because Pittsburgh could pull away within that division.
2nd and 10 here for Kerry Collins. Oh, he's got his receiver again, Damian Williams, and he corkscrews for the catch at the 10. Right in front of Kareem Jackson, a 21-yard pickup. They are working on the rookie out of Alabama. 1st down, Tennessee.
I don't know if there's enough appreciation for Kerry Collins. Watch this. He pulls it back down on the pump fake because it would have been blocked by Cushing at the line of scrimmage. And for as good a throw as it was, an even better catch by Kenny Britt, keeping both feet in bounds to make the completion. You could tell the quarterback and receivers are starting to really grow together.
How about Britt catches of 11, 59, and 21 yards early in this game? It is at the 11. It is 1st and 10. Chris Johnson, oh, and a big block thrown on the near side. David Stewart, an 11-yard touchdown run by Chris Johnson. What a block by the right tackle on that Tennessee offensive line.
Well, this is just phenomenal. Now take a look. Stretch run play. And look at the block there. And then he's able to get it to the 2nd level. One man is not going to keep Chris Johnson out of the end zone. You get into the 2nd level of the defense, he'll make that unblocked defender miss.
Chris Johnson with the touchdown run. That's his 11th of the season. And Baronis once again. 3 Titan possessions, 3 Titan scores. Baronis makes it 21-0. Collins has thrown 2 touchdown passes, and then the defending NFL rushing champion, Chris Johnson, checks in from 11. Well, that Tennessee offense had the great position because of the punt from Turk of only a little over 20 yards.
Well, but the key, I think, is the ability of Kerry Collins to make plays. And Chris Johnson talked about it. He says, I need more opportunities. He says, I'm facing 8 in the box repeatedly. He said, I take pride in that. But now that the passing game has opened up for the Tennessee Titans, I think it makes Chris Johnson that much more of a potent weapon, and it makes this offense, I think, a much more well-rounded, high-powered offense capable of putting a lot of points on the board.
Kerry Collins as a starter is 80 and 94. He's one of the top throwers of yards, number 12 all-time in yards, number 10 in completions. And he's had a great start with his offense in Tennessee here this afternoon against the 5-8 Houston Texans. Another kickoff. Slayton on the fly from the 10. Battered down right there. And Cook, the reserve tight end, makes the stop after a gain of 11. And tonight on CBS, it's the season finale of Survivor, followed by the live reunion show. And guess who's back? Former Dallas Cowboy and NFL head coach Jimmy Johnson. Hear what he has to say about his time on Survivor. That's tonight. It's only on CBS. It's Salvador Gotts, Kevin Harlan, and our terrific CBS crew. You can see the offensive numbers so far today. They're ugly for Houston.
For now.
For now. Well, you got this great belief they're going to come back 1st and 10. The fake to Foster. That's caught by Andre Johnson. Brought down on the play by Alteron Werner. It's a gain of 4 as we gain James Brown from New York.
Hey, Kevin, Giants clinch a playoff spot with the win and some help, so Eli Manning and company getting it done. Take a look up top. 35 yards to Mario Manningham. That capped the 9-play, 71-yard drive. Giants up 7-0 late in the first. Kevin and Solomon.
James, baby, you are on fire today with all these updates. Thank you. Second down and 6. What a day in the NFL. Schaub is in his receivers. Good time. Looking for Foster. He's got the running back at the 32-yard line. And he was on the near side, and he was working on Jason McCourty. He got the first down, pickup of 7 on the play, and a pass to Foster.
What a catch by Arian Foster. We talk about his ability to run the ball, but watch this catch. And then watch how he's able to extend himself. Look at that. And then he gets past the first down marker. Even in tight coverage, he's able to make that grab and pick up the first down.
Good point by you. That was a great catch. First down and 10 from the 32. Arian Foster. Pulling Winston, and Vontae Leach turns the corner and gets up to about the 43-yard line. A pickup of 11. A first down. We'll pick up James once again from New York.
Oh, that would be a heavy task there, Kevin. Take a look here. Rex Grossman, we know, in for Donovan McNabb. 1st and 10. Grossman, 3 of 6, 30 yards only, and a pick. That one by Gerald Sensabaugh. Kitna capitalized on it with a pass to Miles Austin. Dallas is up 10-0 in the second.
Holding.
Kevin and Solomon.
Number 73. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
It was a hold. It wipes it away on that 11-yard pickup. What do you think, by the way, of McNabb getting benched and Grossman being named the starter by Shanahan in Washington?
Well, I think here's the deal. The Washington Redskins want Donovan McNabb to be their quarterback. Why would they sign him to a new contract? But at the end of the day, you have to go out and you have to perform. And if you look at Donovan's numbers, his production is nowhere near what it has been over the course of his career. So when the production falls, and they have to find a better way to get it done. I believe they would prefer that he was the guy under center taking snaps for their football team.
Penalty back to the 22. It is 1st and 20, and this is Foster. Runs outside, as you can see, and he's out to about the 30-yard line, and he was decked on the play by Werner, the rookie out of UCLA. That's a gain of 7. Remember what Matt Schaub told us last night? He said, the one thing I love about Foster, he's a great runner, but boy, is he a terrific receiver, and you've kind of touched on that already.
He comes into this game as their second leading receiver behind Andre Johnson.
Right.
And we know what he's done in terms of leading the league in rushing. So that tells you about his overall production. And we talked to him about the slow start. He says, hey, we have no answers, but we also give no excuses.
5 in the secondary for Tennessee. 2nd down and 13. The blitz. The screen. Foster. And forced out of bounds across the way. They had a good beat on him. Babin was over there, Jason Babin. And a gain of 4 on the catch and run out to about the 32-yard line.
Yeah, and watch Werner, number 20. He comes in. He's blitzing from the backside. That's why they're forced to get rid of this ball quickly. And even though they have linemen out in front, watch how they converge on the ball. They've got it, I think, cornered at all points of attack on the defense by the Tennessee Titans. Right now, they're running well. They're defending the field real well. That's why they've gotten off to such a good start, 21-0 in the first quarter.
Kerry Collins, 2 touchdown passes. Chris Johnson, a touchdown run. 21-zip Tennessee at the end of 1 on CBS. We begin the second quarter here in Nashville with a 3rd and 9. You can see the numbers. The Texans just had dismal first quarter success. They're bringing the blitz here. Now Schaub changes the play, setting his protection.
Absolutely. He should get one-on-one on the outsides where he wants to attack the blitzing defense.
Blitz is picked up. Schaub. Jacoby Jones. He's short of the first down. He's only up to the 36-yard line. He picks up 3. It's 4th down. They got to punt the ball. And once again right there, Gerald McGrath.
When you're the blitzing defense, this is where you want the ball to go. So as long as it's short of that first down marker, now you have to make the tackle. And they're able to do it to keep Jacoby Ford from getting to that first down marker. That's why I think you want to go outside where the one-on-one matchups are, where you can complete that pass beyond the first down marker.
Here's Turk to punt once again. His last punt, remember, just sailed 23 yards. There's a flag. They'll blow that play dead in mid-motion.
False start. Offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
There's our referee today, Gene Steratore. He also works as a college basketball official. That guy's got a busy winter on the NFL on Sundays and college basketball all over the country during the week.
He's like you. He can keep it all straight.
Oh, no.
You know, it's okay.
He's much better than I am. Look who's talking. If I don't see you on the NFL Network, I see you on CBS. You're all over the place.
I'm sure we'll see you at the Final Four on CBS as well, doing some college basketball.
We look forward to that. Here comes Turk. This one is much better, much longer. Mariani is back, drifting back to the 16-yard line. There's a flag. And he'll weave a little bit and then get brought down on the play by Troy Nolan. That's a 51-yard punt with an 8-yard return. We told you some yellow on the field. Look at Steratore. The wind is, if you didn't catch the beginning, the wind is negligible, but it is very, very cold here. You called it a deceptive cold here in the south.
Yeah,
very
deceptive. Sneaky cold.
Sneaky cold. we got to put that up on our weather graphic sometime.
It creeps up on you.
That was good stuff. And Steratore once again.
Holding. Return team number 33. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. 1st down, Tennessee. Timeout.
That's former Texas Longhorn Michael Griffin. Look at Kerry Collins. The veteran today has been terrific for the Titans. Here, 21-0 Tennessee in Indy in the warmth of their dome. 7-3 with, I just can't see Manning letting up in a big game like this for the Colts and getting knocked out this early.
Yeah, but can his defense stop Maurice Jones-Drew and the rushing offense for the Jacksonville Jaguars? They can play keep away and diminish the amount of possessions that Peyton Manning may get in that game.
You and I saw Jacksonville last week in that thriller against the Oakland Raiders down in Florida. 1st down and 10. Chris Johnson will dart his way up to about the 12-yard line and brought down on the play by Nolan. Gain of 3. Well, Collins has thrown a couple touchdown passes today.
He's a 16-year veteran, and he's leading this offense with a touchdown pass to Nate Washington. Comes back, throws another to Justin Gage. He's been under pressure. He's made good decisions with the ball, and when he's had time, he's thrown the ball with great accuracy. He's had a few drop today, but those 2 touchdown passes in the first quarter ties a career high for his ability to get the ball into the end zone, throwing it in the first quarter of a ball game.
It's 2nd down and 7. That's caught by Cook, the tight end. Brought down by Bentley and Quinn. It's a pickup of 8. You know, they left Bo Scaife inactive today. A healthy scratch. Bentley was there with the stop. And they got these 2 young tight ends they're trying to work in.
They want to take a look at Jared Cook. He's a second-year player out of South Carolina. He's nimble, he's quick, he's more athletic.
He's big.
And I think Fisher believes that he'll give them a little bit more of a pop, and they have more of a presence over the middle of the field. I think it helps the wide receivers on the outside on offense.
1st and 10. Again, some sloppy start so far.
Kerry Collins has pulled him on that hard count several times already.
12:37 here in the second quarter. It's territory once again to us.
Encroachment, defense, number 91, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's a second on Okoye on that defensive line. And coming up on the Sprint halftime report from the CBS studios in New York, JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for the latest scores, news, and highlights. All coming up on the Sprint halftime report here on CBS. 6 penalties already, just barely into the second quarter on Houston.
You have to be aggressive, but you also have to be smart.
1st and 5. Look, Charlie was just talking about him in motion. Chris Johnson. The stiff arm his way, and Bentley was there. Also a nice stop on the line by Antonio Smith and a loss of 2. Back to JB.
Kevin, the Ravens have extended their lead to a touchdown. Ray Rice, hard run straight up the gut there. 10 yards to pay dirt, capping a 9-play, 58-yard drive. 14-7 Ravens on top. Kevin and Solomon.
Baltimore just the opposite of Houston. They have great first halves and they struggle in the second.
Yeah, their secondary is going to be exposed trying to stop Drew Brees. You get a big lead and Brees start putting the ball in the air.
Javon Ringer is in on 2nd down and 7 for Collins. Going deep and looking for Washington. Working on the defensive back, Glover Quinn. Incomplete. 3rd and 7 coming up. Let's go to JB once again.
Hey, Kevin and Solly, you think Peyton Manning is glad to have his guy, Austin Collie, looking good here today? Second hookup for these two. That a 27-yard strike. 14-3. Indianapolis on top. Indy keeping his playoff hopes alive. Kevin and Solly.
Wow, they're coming out storming in Indianapolis.
That's good news for Tennessee Titans, Houston Texans in this game. They're pulling from Indy to knock off Jacksonville, because if Jacksonville wins in that game, both these two teams today are eliminated.
Texans have gone in the nickel. 3rd and 7. And he's got Britt. Could not hang on. Got the one-on-one he wanted against Jason Allen. Incomplete pass. So for the first time today, Tennessee does not score on a possession. They've got a punt.
This Kenny Britt, he's a star in the making. Watch him extend himself. He pulls it in, but can't hold on to it after making contact with the ground. And so you have to be able to control this ball through contact with the ground and still maintain possession without the ball moving. You could see it was jarred loose after he landed.
He missed some time, 5 games, in fact, with a hamstring.
Yeah, had really been playing well up until that point. When they lost him, this offense, it sputtered big time.
Kern punting to Jacoby Jones at the 31-yard line. Hangs on a little over 4-5. As he'll dance his way across the way, and that was knocked out of bounds, and it looked like the reserve linebacker got him, Tim Shaw. So another try for Schaub, a 46-yard punt. 11-12 to play in the second quarter. Those little faces, the best part of the holiday season, huh?
It's very cute, and it just reminds you of all the right things with family life and kids. It's a special time of year.
Derek Ward is in the backfield. 1st and 10 for Schaub. Oh, and he's brought down, smothered and tackled on the play. Sacked on the play by Jason Babin. Way back to the 36 and a loss of 7.
He's a former first-round pick of the Houston Texans. You know he wants in on the quarterback coming in from the blind side. And look at him. Schaub never sees him coming. Working against Dwayne Brown, the left tackle, and Babin has been relentless all season long. Look at that, 11 sacks on the year, 17 and a half in his first 6 seasons in the NFL.
5 defensive backs, 2nd down and 17 for Schaub. Underneath, Jacoby Jones. On him was Alteron Verner. It's a gain of 4, and he's up to the 41-yard line.
And if you're the Tennessee Titans, you have to really be happy with the way you're playing on defense. You're creating negative yards on first down. And even though they have a gain on second down against Chuck Cecil's defense, they put the Houston Texans right where they want them. Third and long. And now if you're Chuck Cecil, do you come after the quarterback, play man-to-man on the outside, or do you only rush 3 and drop 8, where you force Matt Schaub to drop it down and not throw the ball down the field for a first down?
Schaub needs the 47 of Tennessee. It's 3rd and 13. Whack as he throws, looking for Andre Johnson. He scoops it up, and he's got the first down. Working at the 45. Griffin was there covering. 15-yard pickup on 3rd and 13. A first down for Houston.
Now they rush 4 and drop 7. But this ball, oh, look how many defenders are in the area. Tight window. Look at that. 3 guys, even 4 blue jerseys, only 1 white shirt for the Houston Texans. That ball was nearly incomplete, almost hit the ground, but good throw by Schaub and an even better catch by Andre Johnson.
Derek Ward remains. It's 1st and 10. Gained 1,000 yards for the Giants a couple years ago, and boy, was he blistered. Coming up was Finnegan, and it's a loss of 2, and he's back to the 47. Let's go back a couple weeks to Week 12. Titans and Texans. Andre Johnson and Cortland Finnegan got into the fight. Both rejected from the game, later fined $25,000. And this week, the NFL talked to both teams saying, watch it.
He talked to both players. Cortland Finnegan says, hey, they don't like the way that I play. He says there's been some heavy reflection on his part in terms of how he's going to play the game. He wants to stay edgy, wants to stay feisty. He said he would apologize to Andre Johnson. We saw no evidence of that before the game.
Foster is back in, 2nd down and 12, and Foster gets the call by Witherspoon. And with a blocker downfield, he takes it to the 30-yard line or so. Let's see, they had Leach down there blocking. They had Andre Johnson down there blocking. It's a catch and run of 19.
Yeah, and take a look at it over to the left side of the screen. You flip the ball over to Arian Foster. The first guy normally will not get him on the ground. That's why he is such a good receiver, and that's what makes him good as a running back as well. Cortland Finnegan makes the tackle, but Finnegan is one of those guys that he says he's doing some soul searching, trying to figure out just how to play within the rules and still play his style of football.
19-yard pickup. And it's 1st down and 10. And there's Foster staying on his feet and backpedaling in. And there's a little shot there at the end of that play. And Foster takes it down to about the 22. A hard-earned 7 yards for the #1 rusher in the NFL.
Kevin, when we talk to Cortland Finnegan, as you watch him come in on this play, and he's going to play it cleanly on this one. But, yeah, he hits his own guy more than anything. And I asked him, I said, what's your source of motivation? He said, there's a 17-year-old kid by the name of Kelsey. She was a scholarship athlete, getting ready to receive a scholarship playing volleyball, and now she's a cancer patient at Vanderbilt Hospital.
2nd 3 handoff goes to Foster. He picks up a couple yards. He's down to the 20-yard line. A heartwarming story here in this holiday season.
Very heartwarming story where he pushed her in a cart during the 5K run. He said that, hey, you're going to run it, I'm going to run it. And so he's drawn some inspiration in her fight. He said cancer has not changed Kelsey one bit. And I think that's the thing that he's carrying into today's ball game. He knows league officials are watching his every move in this game today. That's what he told us when we met with him.
Ward is back in 3rd and 1. Derek Ward by the first onslaught of defenders. And you can see the wrap up at about the 9th. Very good today, number 24. In the NFL, and we'll have to see where they put it and what kind of decision is up. I think they're going to take an official measurement. We got 1 win between the Texans and Titans since the start of November. Can you believe that? Between these 2 teams, just 1 win, and that was Houston's win over Tennessee last month.
And it all happened since Halloween.
Yeah.
You know, the teams are combined 1-11 from Halloween till this day, after getting off to great starts. And Tennessee was 5-2. Houston was 4-2 going into the Halloween weekend. And that's where things fell apart for both teams. They've been bewitched, so to speak.
Ooh, that's a ghoulish story.
Well, I'm sure Gary Kubiak wouldn't want to know those stats. You know, coaches like to think that it's something else. They don't want it based on luck. They like to have tangible evidence for why their teams are struggling, because if they had tangible evidence or something they could put their hand on, then they feel like they could fix it.
Foster back in, 1st and 10. Schaub Being chased by Jason Jones off the fingertips of Dreesen with the coverage on the play by McGrath. And Schaub going into there had just hit his last 9 consecutive receivers.
This is a hard-fought rivalry. You know, 2 teams once belonging to the same city in Houston. And then the Oilers become the Titans here in Nashville. You can see Schaub getting hit. And, of course, the owner, Bud Adams, still lives in Houston. And I thought it was ironic that Michael Griffin said, hey, our starting quarterback is from Houston. I'm thinking, Kerry Collins isn't from Houston, but he was referencing Vince Young.
Yes.
Many of the players still look at Vince in that light.
2nd down and 10. Blitz is on. And it was Finnegan and Johnson. And incomplete. Now, by the way, Finnegan said he wanted to find Johnson before the game and apologize. We didn't see it on the field before the game. That's not to say it didn't happen somewhere else.
Absolutely.
But Johnson apologized after the game back in November in Houston.
It could easily happen below the tunnel. He's not saying that it did.
Sure.
But Andre Johnson said that, hey, if he came up and approached me and I felt it was genuine, he said, I would accept it. He said, we've gone at it for quite some time. He said, but you know what? I could have done something better. That's what Andre Johnson said. He said, I could have came off the field for a play or 2.
It's 3rd down and 10 for Matt Schaub. Great blocking over the head of Johnson. Coverage by Griffin. That sail's incomplete. It was a nice block on that front line by Wade Smith, the guard, providing time for Schaub. And the defense holds for Tennessee, and they relegate the Houston offense to a 3-point try.
Yeah, Schaub, he's taking some time to warm up. This is wide open. He normally completes these kinds of passes when he gets the opportunity. Came into today's game completing 62%. That's a very high level of completion percentage. When you get those kind of opportunities, you've got to put the ball on your intended receiver.
Here's Neil Rackers, who's had 49 straight field goals from 45 yards or less. This will be a 37-yarder. Little wind to deal with. And he belts it in to put the first points on the board for the Houston Texans with 5:45 to play. On that drive, catch and run by Foster of 19 and a 37-yard field goal to finish.
Just not right.
Rockers just got a 37-yarder on a drive that had some interesting plays. Andre Johnson caught a 3rd down reception for 15 yards. And Foster had a catch and run of 19 with some nice blocking by Johnson downfield. And that stops the shutout by the Tennessee defense. 5:45 to play here in the first half, and Rockers has it teed up once again. Mariani is back at the goal line for the Titans. 125th consecutive sellout here in Nashville. Mariani. Blocked by Hall. Weaving around the block downfield by Schomer. Runs it back for 32. Good beginning field position for Collins. Once again, he's already thrown 2 touchdowns in this game. Solomon, both these head coaches have been attacked a little bit by fans and the media in their respective cities.
Well, when you lose, 5 of your last 6 or 6 of your last 7 if you're Houston, and if you lose 6 in a row for the Tennessee Titans, you're going to get some criticism. I think both coaches have thick skin. I think they understand the climate of the National Football League. Expectations are very high.
On the 37-yard line after the 32-yard kickoff return by Mariani. 1st and 10 on the 37. With Johnson, there goes a flag. Nice little block out there, too, thrown by Fernando Velasco, who is the new center. Gain of 4.
Offense, number 89. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
That goes on Jared Cook, the tight end. Well, from TV's #1 comedy to the #1 new comedy, the #1 news magazine, the #1 news show, and the #1 drama on television. Thank you for making CBS America's #1 network. 1st and 20 back at the 27. Ringer is in the backfield. Collins. And he was brought down on the play. Mark Anderson. With a gain of 5 right there. Also getting a hand on him, Daryl Sharpton.
Well, with this lead, Kevin, pardon me, you have to be able to run the football if you are the Tennessee Titans, whether it's Chris Johnson or Devon Ringer. You've got to be able to pound the running game to keep the ball away from Matt Schaub. I think as you get into the second half, you're Jeff Fisher. Not that you want to take the air out of the ball. I think you've got to get the run game going and continue to have balance on offense.
Ringer remains, 4 in the secondary. Second down and 15. Whoops. Anderson was offsides. Ringer again out of Michigan State. He set the Spartans rushing records all up in East Lansing. He's up to the 37, picks up 5. Mitchell getting off him. I guess this time of the year, Sally, you're always looking to play some young players, get some guys a chance.
Defense, number 96, 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
That is Anderson.
Well, they continue to jump off sides. That defensive line for the Houston Texans. Kubiak saying, you come here. We got to talk about this. He's going to do some coaching and try to impart some knowledge. But gosh, if you're Mark Anderson, you're much smarter than that. Anderson's a 5th-year veteran in the National Football League, and you know he knows better, and he's got to hold his water, be more disciplined.
Jamison just took his place. Second down and 10 for Collins. With Randy Moss has been a no-show. Played a couple plays. That's it. Ringer slashing up the middle to about the 44-yard line. And a gain of 7 on the play by Ringer, who could start on a lot of teams in the NFL. Brought down in the secondary.
Well, this kid's a hard runner. Look at him put that one foot in the ground. Now watch him cut it up. He's finding the soft area in the zone. Pollard's forced to come up and make the tackle, but just an excellent run of pressing the line of scrimmage by Javon Ringer.
Third down and 3. Collins, Britt. The defensive back fell down. That was Jason Allen, former Miami Dolphin, former first-round pick. 8-yard pickup. That is a first down for Tennessee to the Houston 48.
You know, it starts with protection. Watch Ringer step up. Look at the blitz pickup there. That provides time for Kerry Collins to step up in the pocket. We said they wanted to blitz him up the middle, and then watch Britt adjust his route, making a very nice catch in coverage against Jason Allen.
So Britt with a catch there of 8. He's had catches of 21, 59, and 11, and you can see the numbers for Britt today. They love this receiver out of Rutgers. Ringer on 1st and 10. Drilled by Sharp there. No gain on the play. They may play Sharp. Oh, there's some hitting after the play, and they got to be separated away from the ball. They'll chip you. I think when you play a team in the division, of course, you played many years in the NFL. It's when you're familiar with an opponent that breeds that kind of animosity.
Especially inside of the division when the two teams once shared the same home city. You know, Jeff Fisher used to be the head coach of the Houston Oilers, now Tennessee Titans. And his owner lives in Houston.
Right.
And his owner wants to beat the Houston Texans. So, yeah, both sides have been chippy. Not today, but previously.
Second down and 10. Here comes the rush, and down he goes. Antonio Smith, the former Arizona Cardinal, was the first to lay his paws on Kerry Collins. Second sack, loss of 10, and put him back at the 42.
Well, Smith is really adept. You see him right here. He starts on the end of the line of scrimmage, runs a stunt, comes up the middle. Remember, all the pressure against Collins, a veteran quarterback, is not necessarily coming off the edge. You want to come up the middle where he can't step up in the pocket and have a good view down the field.
You just brought up something that I got to ask you about. You mentioned that the owner of the Tennessee Titans lives in Houston. They, of course, a couple years ago drafted a pretty good quarterback out of the University of Texas this young. We know that Fisher and Young have gotten a little bit crossways here in Tennessee. What's your read on that situation?
Well, remember, the owner came out immediately and said, hey, they've got to find a way to coexist. I'm not so sure that they can get beyond it. There's going to have to be a lot of conversation in the offseason. And when we talked to Jeff Fisher about it, he says, hey, there's going to be a discussion about this whole deal when the season is over. He said, we're not going to comment on it prior to that. He said, but there will be a long talk once the regular season has completed.
Texans have gone in the nickel. 3rd and 20. They need the 38. And the quick handoff goes to Chris Johnson. Comes back in the game, and High steps his way with a tackle made by Cushing and Bentley. A gain of 7 on the play, and they'll spot him at the 49. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. In a first half, well, we got a 2-minute timeout, 30-second timeout. All right, we're going to hold it right there. Cushing made the stop. 2:08 to play in the second. They did sneak in the timeout, did Houston. So they're going to have the break now at the 2-minute warning. It's 2:11. Here is the punt by Brett Kern, who used to play for Denver. And Jacoby Jones waving his arms, as you can see. And that baby's going to land and roll down to about the 7-yard line. Nice roll by Brett Kern. That's a 43-yard, well-placed punt. Now we're at the 2-minute warning. So the timeout well used by Houston. Let's see what they can do. They've got one timeout remaining, and here comes Matt Schaub. Back here in Nashville, and coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, join J.B. Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for the latest NFL scores. A lot of playoff scenarios and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report from our CBS studios in New York. Well, the Texans have trailed at halftime of 9 of their previous 13 games. You can see that right there. They don't do a whole lot inside 2 minutes. They got it 1st and 10 from the 7. And in the thicket of defenders, he finds his tight end. That is Dreesen. It is a pickup of 9. He's out to the 13-yard line on the play. And 1 Houston Texan timeout. Make it the 15. 2nd down and 1. Schaub again going deep, and he's looking for Walter, and he overshoots him with the coverage downfield applied in the secondary by Jason McCourty.
Oh, Walter had an opportunity to get that one, and Schaub just overthrew him by a hair. And we talk about Schaub needing to have that short memory after the interception in overtime to Baltimore. You need to be able to foul this one away going in at halftime, saying, wow, there's some opportunities to make plays in this game, but Schaub has missed just by a hair at least 3 times here in the first half.
Andre Johnson, by the way, 3 catches, 23 yards. Foster on the ground, 6 carries and 5 yards. 3rd and a long one. Schaub hit as he throws. And that will be caught for a 1st down. Jacoby Jones, he picks up 7. And that is a 1st down and a timeout taken to the 21-yard line. Here's a look at Matt Schaub, who came as a backup for Michael Vick in Atlanta and joins Gary Kubiak. And since 07, it's been a wonderful little marriage, culminating with last year's MVP in the Pro Bowl for Schaub.
And now they have an opportunity to put something together here. If they can get 7 points in this next minute, 25 seconds to close out the first half, remember, they're going to get the ball first to begin the second half, where they really have been hot and where the offense has really played well. Maybe you can get a 14-point swing between this last possession and the first possession of the first half. If you take a look at his career numbers, he's now the franchise all-time leader in passing yards.
And undeniably the face of this franchise.
Oh, absolutely. And I think Gary Kubiak said after we talked with him about the interception to end that game against Baltimore, he says, look, we have complete trust and faith in Matt Schaub, and he's going to be the leader of this franchise for a very long time.
Foster's in the backfield. Tennessee's in the nickel, 1st and 10. Flag. And that was lassoed across the way on an 8-yard pickup. And it was caught by Owen Daniels, Pro Bowler a year ago, and a guy who blew a knee, and he was right there, the recipient of his first pass. Hope was on the coverage and the catch at about the 28.
Offside. Defense, number 91. Penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Jason Jones. So penalties, Houston's got 7 here in the first half, and that is the 3rd. Oh, they declined it, of course. 2nd. They've only got 2 Tennessee now. 2nd down and 3. Drawing a block at that left tackle. Arian Foster. Brought down on the play by Tulloch. That's a 1st down catch. Yep, they're going to move the chains to the 31-yard line.
As you can see, they're still trying to work everything short over the middle of the field.
Still in the nickel, 1st and 10 for Matt Schaub. Good block again by the left tackle, Brown. Here comes the rush up the middle, and the pressure was applied by Douglas. They were going on the near side. Jones was over there. They're going to call it a catch. But was he out of bounds? One guy said it was a catch. One guy said he was out of bounds. As they confer.
They're getting some hits on Schaub. His uniform is dirty. He had a short week to prepare and bounce back and try to recover from a very physical Ravens game.
And it was physical.
Illegal touching. Offense, number 12. Receiver went out of bounds and was first to touch the forward pass. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
So Jones got it. Let's see if he even caught the ball, even though he did go out of bounds, and they nullified it.
Well, he did touch it. He was the first player. See, there he is. He was out of bounds, came back in, was the first to touch it.
I think his foot was already
at that point, he's an illegal receiver because
exactly.
He stepped out and he's not eligible to touch it.
You're right. 1st and 15, Schaub. Intercepted. Picked off by Werner, the rookie from UCLA. He had 4 touchdown returns on interceptions for the Bruins. He's knocked down by Walter. He takes it back to the 20-yard line, and Alteron Werner gets his third interception of the season. Schaub throws his first pick today.
Schaub was eager to get the ball to Andre Johnson, but Werner understands coming in behind him. And then just watch Werner roll in right underneath that pass, coming behind. Look at that. He sensed that Andre Johnson was coming behind him as if he had eyes in the back of his head. Gets right in the throwing lane and is able to intercept Matt Schaub. And look, Schaub is taking a beating here in the first half. And they're going to sit on him saying, we're going to make sure you don't make the tackle as Werner runs right by him. That's William Hayes, 95, laying right on top of Matt Schaub.
Alteron Werner with the interception. 1st and 10, Chris Johnson. And the flag thrown in the pile as the tackle was made by Antonio Smith, among others. Well, everybody's got to beat on Chris Johnson, don't they? My goodness.
Number 89, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Jared Cook picks it up. That makes it 1st and 20. But he's become a marked man because Chris Johnson before the season made some pretty lofty predictions about what his year would be like.
He rushed for over 2,000 yards last year, and then all during the offseason he says, you know what, I can go for 2,500. Well, I think all the defenses around the National Football League says, okay, we're going to set out to stop you. But I still believe he's had a phenomenal and successful season when you look at what he's done. It's already over 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah, 11:37 coming into today. 1st and 20. Johnson once again. He was slowed down by Bentley, and he continues to slither his way down to the Houston 22. Wade couldn't bring him down. Pollard finally wraps him up, and it's a gain of 8 and a timeout taken by Tennessee. And that's, of course, his MO. He gets that one burst, that one big gain. It seems like every game. Timeout. After the timeout, 2nd down and 12. Houston's out of timeouts. Tennessee's got 2 and a little pass to Chris Johnson. Racing for the sideline. Bentley in pursuit. Can't get out of bounds. And hit on the play. Glover Quinn. 7-yard catch and run. And another timeout. Yep, another timeout taken by Tennessee. I love it here in Nashville. They play Elvis Christmas music here between plays.
Now watch this. He wants to get out of bounds, but watch Quinn come up to contain it. He won't let him get out of bounds until he can stop the clock. Number 29 getting his head out in front, able to make the tackle. If you can beat Chris Johnson to the sideline, boy, you're moving because he's faster than most.
We mentioned earlier, Solomon, that Tennessee had lost 6 consecutive games coming in after a 5-2 start. This is their final home game, by the way, of the season. They've had 6-game losing streaks in 09, and of course, this year, the only team in the NFL. They've had losing streaks of at least 5 games in 5 of the last 7 seasons.
Yeah, that's a negative trend.
3rd and 5. Anderson grabs Collins and brings him down. And now some shoving after the play, away from the ball, and it involves Antonio Smith and Velasco.
Well, the guys are going at it against each other. Helmet comes off because Cushing helmet came off, and I don't think Cushing took his own helmet off. I think his own teammate Antonio Smith did.
Well, it's been a little chippy in this game, not significantly, but there's been some jawing on the field, and when plays have been run into each sideline as they begin. Now, this has been a huge topic in New York, the play of these two teams coming in, beginning, of course, as we talked about before, with Johnson and Finnegan. And it's extended to others as you take a look at Antonio Smith.
Yeah, and that's Smith and Leroy Harris, 64 of the Tennessee Titans, were the 2 players who had engaged one another from different teams. And then I think Cushing, being the leader that he is, was trying to get his own teammate, Antonio Smith, to calm down a little bit, and then they started jawing at one another.
There was a 3rd sack. It was a loss of 7. Then the flags flew, and there you see Cushing.
They may be penalizing Cushing for his helmet coming off, but I don't know if the officials are aware that he didn't take his own helmet off.
Kenny Britt is over there jawing with Pollard as the officials were talking. So the hands will be full for these officials here today, especially when you're losing if you're Kubiak's team, 21-3.
Like conduct defense, number 56, for removing his helmet. The penalty will be half the distance to the goal. The foul occurred with 3 seconds on the game clock. So I need the game clock operator to reset the clock to 3 seconds. Tennessee is not charged with that timeout that they had called with 2 seconds because the penalty preceded the calling of the timeout. So Tennessee will have 1 timeout remaining. It will be first down, Tennessee.
See, that's Harris and Antonio Smith going at it. Now watch Cushing comes over. Now, why would his own teammate took the helmet off. Now, you're not allowed to take your own helmet off in the field of play, but Cushing's trying to explain to the visitors, I never took my helmet off. And so, really, it was the actions of Antonio Smith that precipitated a lot of what we just saw.
So Alteron Werner had the interception of Schaub, and with 3 seconds left, they're going to try for 3. It'll be a 30-yard drive by Rob Baronis, and they'll try to cash out and get something out of the interception. Schaub has gone 14 of 20. Collins 16 passes and 10 completions. There's another field goal in this game. This one is by Baronis, which extends the Tennessee lead to 24-3. Collins has thrown 2 first-half touchdown passes. Johnson had a 11-yard touchdown run. It's all Titans in the first half here from Nashville.
Merry Christmas from Nashville, Tennessee.
And Tennessee quarterback Kerry Collins has thrown a couple of touchdown passes, and that's our halftime score. From our families at CBS to yours, a very happy holiday with Solomon Wilcots, Kevin Harlan. Well, we've seen some offense today from the Titans. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think it all starts, as you mentioned, with Kerry Collins. His ability to lead this offense down the field. He's thrown the ball very well. He's made some good decisions, even under pressure, able to get the ball into the end zone.
Let's now take a look at the Droid Pro play presented by Motorola.
Well, remember, we told you Kerry Collins getting the ball in the end zone here to Justin Gage. It helped them take a 14-0 lead. So quarterback and wide receiver are making plays in this game. This is about as balanced and as potent as I've seen the Tennessee Titans offense look all season long.
9 penalties in that first half against the Tennessee Titans, or against the Houston Texans. And you can see the time of possession, the turnover. But 9 penalties against the Texans, Solomon, is something to be concerned about.
Oh, the problem is they're giving the Tennessee Titans extra opportunities, and the Titans have paid off those opportunities. Getting the turnovers, I thought the interception by Alteron Werner to help them get a field goal just before halftime. Now Gary Kubiak's team maybe playing true to form. Poorly in the first half, and they usually get red hot in the second half of ball games.
Rob Baronis will kick this off for the Tennessee Titans, and deep back will be Steve Slayton. And Slayton has already had a 50-yard kickoff return in this game. Flag is thrown, and he is corkscrewed in about the 23-yard line with all kinds of guys jumping on him, namely Tim Shaw. Flag was back where they kicked off, so probably offsides on the kickoff for Tennessee. Let's take a look at Gary Kubiak, who roomed with John Elway for 10 years. He was telling us yesterday, and learned so much football. The two of them, you can just imagine some of the offensive conversations they had.
Offside on the kicking team. Number 30, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Number 30 is Jason McCourty. He said that some of those conversations, in fact, he has relayed to his current quarterback, Matt Schaub. He said they talk all the time, sometimes, you know, away from the facility on the phone, and he kind of relays some of those stories.
Schaub mentioned that the relationship that he and Gary Kubiak have, and the fact that he can tell some of those stories about John Elway, it helps Schaub to be able to get over the recent moments like the interception he said that he had at the end of the game. He said, you know, those you can carry with you for a long time. But when Gary Kubiak said, hey, the one thing that John Elway had, probably better than all the other attributes and talents and skills, was the ability to have a short memory. He said there were many times that John Elway was booed at Mile High Stadium, but he was able to get over it, come back and provide a memorable moment for the fans there in Denver. And he expects the same of Matt Schaub. Let's see if we can get some of that here in the second half.
So they'll push him back 5 yards, and Rob Baronis will tee it up at the 25. Wind has not picked up. It's been 5 miles an hour or less, but it is cold here in Nashville. Slayton now moves up about 5 yards. Mentioned before, he led this team in rushing back in 08 and 09, but this year, of course, the emergence of Arian Foster, going back to the last part of last season, has been dramatic for this Houston franchise. Now he'll take this one from about the 16-yard line. And try to work his way up. And we've got some pushing after the play again. On the near side, Tim Shaw involved for Tennessee. That's a 16-yard return. And they'll have it first down and 10 yards to go at about the 35. Let's take a look at the comparison of our quarterbacks today. Schaub for the Texans and Collins for the Titans.
It's easy. Touchdowns for Kerry Collins, interceptions for Matt Schaub. And you turn the ball over, it's going to be hard to win games. But if you put the ball in the end zone, as Kerry Collins has done, then you're going to find yourself leading on the scoreboard.
Schaub comes out throwing. Jacoby Jones across the way at about the 40-yard line on that first down and 10 pass to Jones, who came into the game with 3 touchdown receptions. He picks up 7. He's working on Chris Hope, the ball to the 41.
And it was Arian Foster who said, hey, we can't score on every possession. And he said of the slow starts that we don't have any answers, but we don't make excuses. And now this is where they look to gain more rhythm on offense.
Second down and 3, and they're going to get some rhythm, and they're going to get a first down right here, and that's a catch across the way by Kevin Walter. And they're working on Alteron Vernon, who had that interception late in the first half. Gain of 5, and they'll move it up to the 46.
And if you're the Tennessee Titans, you've got to ask yourself, is 21 points enough? You've got to tell yourself that, hey, this is where we're going to have to take our best shot from the Houston Texans, knowing that they're really going to go on the offensive and begin to attack us on defense.
Titans working in the nickel. This is Foster. Brought down, and Babin comes from the side to bring him down after a gain of a yard. Babin has played, of course, with the Texans, then Seattle, Kansas City, and Philadelphia. He's up to the 47-yard line.
And I think if we learned anything, as you take a look at Houston in terms of their rushing in the first half of ball games, a franchise low 4 times today, is that turnovers can derail any offense from having rhythm or attempting a comeback in any football game, and now finding themselves down by 21 points as they were on Monday night to the Baltimore Ravens.
And came back nicely. Second down and 9. Foster again. Jumping up the middle. He picks up a yard. And Tulloch was among a couple that got there and knocked him down. Also with a hand on him, Jason Jones, who brings up third down and 8.
Oh, the one thing the Titans have done well, only 7 yards rushing so far in the game from Arian Foster. He started out at the beginning of the game saying, pick your poison. Who do you stop? I think clearly the Titans have game plan to slow down Arian Foster from getting to the second level of their defense running the football.
Foster had against this Tennessee defense back in November, 143 yards. Here's a third and 8. The blitz by Hope. The first down reception made by tight end Treason at the 38-yard line. Brought down on the play after the pickup of 14 yards by Finnegan and by Griffin. It's a first down for the Texans.
Nice throw under pressure. Look at Hope coming into the face of Matt Schaub, but he stares down the barrel, puts that ball right in between 3 Tennessee Titans defenders to Joel Dreesen. Quarterbacking in the National Football League is not easy. I dare you to stand in that pocket with pressure in your face and make that throw.
Dreesen's had a career season so far. First and 10, Schaub. Oh, and Daniels with a good-looking catch. Hope brings him down, 15-yard line. Great throw and a terrific grab. A 23-yard pickup, another first down for the Texans.
Oh, you had 2 offensive players in that same area, but this is just a laser throw by Schaub to Owen Daniels. In coverage against Hope, and look at that throw and look at the catch. Tight window to fit that one into. Offense on the move for Houston.
No surprise there. Schaub on this drive has hit all 4 of his passes. First and 10 from the 15. Foster in the backfield. They dump it to him. Myers had a good block, and there goes Foster from behind. He was brought down by Malcolm Shepard around the ankles. It's a gain of 6. The catch and run down to about the 9.
But watch the awareness of Foster. Look at this. Watch what he does at number 75. If I can just get behind him, look at the spin move, and he gets to the second level of the defense. Barely tripped up. And he probably would have scored a touchdown had he not been tripped up from behind.
I love the blocks. The center, Chris Myers, and the right guard, Antoine Caldwell. They're working on Foster. Ward is in the backfield. Second down and 4. Derek Ward like a bullet down to the 2. Boy, he hit that hole hard. Werner was at the bottom of the pile. Babin was down there. That's a burst of 7. That's a first down. First and goal, Houston.
Yeah, coming downhill. Chris Hope. Wow. And many others on that tackle. It took just about every blue jersey for the Titans to keep Ward out of the end zone.
Derek Ward will remain. It'll be first and goal at the 2-yard line for Houston, taking this second half opening kickoff from their 34. First and goal. Schaub. Ward with the block. The hit. Ward didn't keep on his block. He got McGrath once. McGrath comes up with the sack right there, the first of his career. It's a loss of 11 on the play.
Oh, great play by McGrath going up against Ward. Here, right here. Now watch him come off the block. And he should be able to get that ball out because Schaub never even saw him coming. You know, it's one thing to get the sack. An even bigger play for the Titans would have been able to get that ball out of the hands and create a turnover for Chuck Cecil, the defensive coordinator.
All the way back to the 12 where it's second down and goal. Ward remains. To the end zone. Andre Johnson beat Finnegan. A 12-yard hit. Same song, different verse for Houston. They come out with a flourish, and folks, buckle up for the second half.
Now, how important is it on the previous play that McGrath wasn't able to get the ball out over to the right side of your screen? Andre Johnson against Cortland Finnegan. It looked as though Finnegan may have slipped and fell down. Nonetheless, Andre Johnson, who has averaged 8 catches over 100 yards per game in his last 4 games against the Titans, now has another, his 50th of his career.
And the 8th this season, and the extra point makes it a 24-10 game as Rutgers drills it. 9:17 to play. What an impressive drive. Schaub with the 12-yard touchdown pass. This is game number 14 for the Houston Texans. They have scored 10 times on their first second half possession this year. And Schaub right on cue with a terrific second half opening drive.
If you don't believe Matt Schaub is about to heat it up, remember the Titans have allowed 6 games this year where they've allowed a 300-yard pass, most in the National Football League.
This is Mariani from Rutgers at about the 2-yard line for Tennessee. Finding his way, and another nice return for him. He is terrific. Schaub on the money from 12. He had a lot of good plays leading up on that drive. Man, I wish I was there. That looks warm and delicious.
You can see many of our CBS crew were there.
First down and 10 after the kickoff from the 36. Collins with a couple of early touchdown passes in the game. Cook, the tight end, brought down in the secondary by Troy Nolan. The catch and run to the 37, a game of 27 yards by the tight end, Jared Cook.
Kerry Collins still throwing the ball with great accuracy. This is just a wonderful throw. This is right on the money to Jared Cook. That ball wasn't in the air long at all. Those are some of the same laser-locked passes that we saw in practice. Now, they dropped a few in the first half, even though they caught enough to be very productive, but we didn't see any dropped in that Friday practice.
First and 10 with a couple tight ends at the 37 of Houston. With Johnson in the backfield. Collins right on the screws that time to the 20-yard line. Britt covered on the play by Kareem Jackson. Gain of 17. Let's go to New York and James Brown.
Hey, Kevin and Solomon, take a look here. Donald Brown having a career day. This a 43-yard carry, looking like Eddie George. Heading to pay dirt. 10 carries, 123 yards, and a touchdown. His first career 100-yard rushing day. Colts on top by 11. Kevin and Solomon.
Must win for the Colts. They win, they stay alive. Jacksonville, if they win, they could win the division. It's a first down. He's going for Washington. What a catch! But out of bounds. Glover Quinn was defending at the 1. A contorted grab, which results in nothing. Second down and 10.
Kerry Collins is on top of his game. This is a back shoulder throw to Nate Washington, who makes the adjustment. But look at Glover Quinn. Yeah, he's able to push him out, only 1 foot inbounds. He has to get 2 down in order for it to be a completed pass. But I don't know that you could throw it any better. I don't know that you could adjust to the ball any better in midair than Nate Washington did on that play. Only getting 1 foot inbounds, well defended as well by Glover Quinn.
Well, you're right. Collins throws a beautiful pass.
Oh, absolutely. He's on fire today.
2nd down and 10. Here's Johnson. Everybody going left. He goes right. But I'll tell you who didn't bite that time was Bernard Pollard. No gain on the play. They stay at the 21. I wonder if Pollard is shadowing, is spying on Johnson and sticking with him stride for stride. He's been a lot of times on Chris Johnson.
Well, you better have somebody watching,
Yeah.
and everybody's thinking that he's having some disappointing year. He's one of 4 running backs with over 100 yards rushing in 7 games so far this year. I find it ironic that 3 of the guys on that page, 3 of the 4, are in the same AFC South division. Maurice Jones-Drew, Arian Foster. So none really playing better than Chris Johnson right now.
That's a good point. 3rd down and 10. Collins intercepted. Here we just praise him. It's picked off on the play by Jason Allen. His 5th interception of the season, the ex-Dolphin. Right in front of the pass of Collins. So the defense falls right behind the offense and keeping the momentum shift here in the second half. It's the first turnover. A pick on Collins. Allen swipes it. Collins just threw an interception to the number 32 pass defense in Allen in the NFL.
Yeah, Jason Allen, remember former Miami Dolphin defensive player, making an excellent play to stop the Titans offense.
Allen from the University of Tennessee. 1st down and 10. Schaub, good time. Andre Johnson pulled out by Griffin. That is a fumble, and Finnegan trying to crawl for it. And then it looks like Andre recovered his own fumble. It's a 1st down to the 35, 19-yard pickup.
How do you not get this ball? Griffin does a wonderful job of prying the ball loose. Watch the throw and the catch, and then Griffin comes in, strips it. Finnegan has a chance to make the recovery. This is a game-saving play right here. And look, he tries to pick it up. He's got it. But then it squirts out. And it looked as if Arian Foster was able to punch it out. And then Johnson retains the ball.
When Daniels on 1st and 10 is wrapped up across the way by the linebacker McGrath, who had a sack earlier in the game. The catch and run take him close to a 1st down, pickup of 9.
Well, let's go back and take a look at the interception. This is Kenny Britt. He's going to run it out. And then Collins trusts him to get to the spot. And so if you see, this is Jason Allen. Once Britt slips and falls, and look at that, he slips and falls, so the defensive back's able to cut underneath and steal the ball. Gary Collins had to trust this receiver in that situation.
Little second one here as a 1st down run by Foster. And he picks up 3 on the play. They'll move the chains and the ball to the 47-yard line.
So much of the passing game is about trust between quarterback and wide receiver. And the wide receiver sometimes have to get to the intended spot where the quarterback expects him to be. And as a quarterback, you've got to cut the ball loose a little bit early, anticipating that the receiver is going to get there. And you know, quarterbacks can be the victim of receivers not getting to their spot. Therefore, the ball is going to be intercepted.
Ward is in. 1st and 10. Ward gives him a block. Job on the money. It's brought by Kevin Walter. And he's hit on the play, not only by Tulloch, but by Finnegan. It's a pickup of 13 on the play. It's a 1st down pass to the 40-yard line of Tennessee.
Yeah, Matt Schaub went on that last drive. He was 6 for 6 completing passes to 6 different receivers. You can see he comes out firing away on this possession as well. The Tennessee Titans told us it's going to take points to stop the Houston Texans. They know that they can't stop this offense all day. I thought that last interception by Kerry Collins and then the lack of the fumble recovery by defense now has them really in harm's way.
1st and 10. Ward remains, and he tries to flip one up for Ward, who was covered on the play by linebacker Will Witherspoon. 9 consecutive completions until that one right there for the quarterback, Matt Schaub. And thought the fantasy season was over. It's not. Play NFL.com playoff challenge today. You could win a trip to the Super Bowl in Indianapolis at Super Bowl 46 next year. Sign up for free at NFL.com/fantasy or search NFL Playoff Challenge. It'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 40-yard line. Interception by Allen off of Collins sets up this possession for Gary Kubiak and the Houston Texans. Foster is back in. Offers a block. Jacoby Jones. Tackle made on the play by Jason McCourty. It's a gain of 7, and he's to the 33.
The Titans are doing everything they can to try to put pressure on Matt Schaub, forcing him to throw the ball early, get rid of it. 3-step drop, ball comes out. Coverage not tight enough to keep Jacoby Ford from making this catch. And while McCourty gives chase, he still allows the completion. And now they're facing 3rd and short for the Houston Texans on offense.
Texans, who have beaten the Titans 3 of the last 4 meetings, have it 3rd and 3. They come again, and down goes Schaub. Jason Jones, his 3rd sack of the season. That knocks him out of field goal range effectively, and Tennessee does not get burned by the interception, and Houston will have to punt the ball.
Well, it's just a good stop. We said they were trying mightily to get pressure to Matt Schaub, and they finally get home. You see Jones, 91, seeping through. Schaub has to just hold on to the ball and eat it and not risk turning the ball over there.
Loss of 9 pushes him back to the 42. If you tack down the 7 yards, it would be about a 60-yard field goal and well out of the range of Rutgers, even as good as he has been kicking this season for the Texans. Turf to punt. And Mariani wings it off. It ricochets from the 1. It'll be a touchback to the 20 on a 42-yard punt by veteran Matt Turk. So Collins and the Titans don't get burned. Charge back out there with a 24-10 lead. So the Tennessee Titans will take over after the punt by the Houston Texans. On defense for the Texans, no Mario Williams. He is out, so they've kind of been shuffling guys in and out of his position at that defensive end for Houston.
There are Tim Jamison and as well as Mark Anderson, both guys having to make up for one.
It's like Jamison is in right now. 1st and 10 for Collins, who threw a pick the last time. And here's the elusive, except on that play, Chris Johnson, who was brought down on the play by Glover Quinn. It is a gain of a yard. All you need to know about these two teams, the Texans and Titans, is this. If the Colts win today, the winner here stays alive in the playoff race.
Yeah, they got to win their last 3 ball games. Indy has to beat Jacksonville today, and then you've got to hope that both Indy and Jacksonville lose their last 2 games in week 16 and 17. So a lot has to happen for one of these 2 teams to get into the playoffs.
2nd and 9 for Collins. Nate Washington, who came back toward the ball. And the grab by Glover Quinn. It's a pickup of 17. It is a 1st down for Tennessee.
I can't say enough about what Kerry Collins is doing today and what I'm seeing. Look at this throw. While falling back, he's able to lead the receiver inside away from coverage, even as pressure was coming into his face. 16 years in the NFL out of Penn State. You take a look at the score. This is what the Titans and the Houston Texans want to see. A win by Indy keeps the winner of today's game alive for the playoff race.
It's a 1st and 10 for Collins. The blitz comes up the middle. It's a drop pass by the other tight end, Craig Stevens. He got a touchdown last week against the Indianapolis Colts for Coach Jeff Fisher. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
If you're Jeff Fisher and you're the Tennessee Titans, you got to make a decision on Kerry Collins, who will soon be 38 years old. His contract expires at the end of the year. I think what we saw from him in the Thursday night game against Indy, 244 yards, 3 touchdown passes in that game. Already 2 touchdown passes in the 1st quarter of today's game. He gives I think the team a fighting chance. They're going to have to make a decision on him moving forward.
Hit a couple tight ends, 2nd down and 10. Blitz from the side, picked up beautifully by the running back, and that's caught. Kenny Britt. What a story he's been today. Working on the side, working on Quinn to the 49-yard line, making the tackle, Jason Allen. It's a 13-yard pickup, 128 receiving yards for Britt.
Chris Johnson against Marcus Pollard. Up and over, providing a window for Kerry Collins to get the ball down the field. If you want to be one of the best backs in the NFL and stay on the field on 3rd down, you got to make blocks like that. When we talk about running backs making plays without the ball in their hands, you just saw a good example of it from Chris Johnson in pass protection.
1st and 10. And here is Chris Johnson, who got a block from Stevens. This is what he does so well. A foot race downfield and brought down by Jason Allen. He'll uncork and then he'll fly, that time for 42 yards to the 7-yard line of the Houston Texans.
4 yards, then 5 yards. and then 50 yards. Look at the breakdown. He just runs right by Brian Cushing, and he's going to run by most. And we said, like a hitter in baseball, all he needs is one swing of the bat. Look at the stutter step, and then he's off to hitting a home run and running through your secondary. Only Jason Allen in the sideline can make the play.
It's first and goal at the 7. Ringer is in, and he will walk into the end zone. And Tennessee gets their second rushing touchdown today.
Good backside blocking by Leroy Harris, Michael Roos on the left side. And Ringer cuts back and finds daylight into the end zone.
Ringer with his second touchdown run of the season.
Watch this. He starts this way, but then watch when he cuts it back. Your left guard, 64, Leroy Harris, and left tackle, Michael Roos, 71. They stay on their blocks to create a running lane for Javon Ringer. What a 1-2 punch, huh?
Like we said before, Ringer could start for a lot of teams in the NFL. Anderson tried to take a swipe at him, too, and could not bring him down, and Barones makes it 31-10. Tennessee with 28 seconds to play in the third quarter. Ringer and Johnson both with rushing touchdowns today. He had the setup guy and Chris Johnson running for 42. Then Ringer pounds it in from 7 yards away.
How about the vision of Chris Johnson? His anticipation and his patience is what you have to really love. Slow to the hole, but fast through it.
So the Titans have built up a huge lead right now. 2 touchdown passes by Collins. 2 touchdown runs, one by Ringer and one by Chris Johnson. And a field goal of 30 from Barones, who boots it right now. And that is going to go into the hands of Slayton. And then with a nice tackle downfield, it was made on the play by Schomer, and then Peter Ittersagen, who was just activated this week, a 10-yard return.
Kevin, 2 things I want you to see on this run by Chris Johnson. Patience and then vision. There's the patience. And then watch the vision right there. And then you're going to see him just go right to the secondary and then speed. He finds the hole with great vision, and then he's able to accelerate through it.
Schaub has thrown a touchdown pass today. 12-yard hit to Andre Johnson. It was a first down and 10. Foster with the block. The blitz was on from Hope. And Walter makes the grab on the near side. And he was close to a first down with the reception. McCourty was covering on the play.
And the only thing that I think can slow down Matt Schaub in this offense, we've seen them, they can go right down the field. Tennessee Titans said, hey, it's going to take points. And by putting points on the board, it really challenges Matt Schaub.
2nd and 1. Walter can't get that one, which was thrown in back of the quarterback. That's because the pressure was right in his face by Jacob Ford and by Jason McCourty. The third quarter has come to a close. Tennessee in command. The Tennessee Titans scored the first 3 times they had the ball this afternoon.
And now they answer here in the second half, making it very difficult for Matt Schaub and the Houston Texans to rally.
Right in the 4th, 3rd and 1. And Foster backpedaling his way to the 27-yard line. Shy, no gain on the play. And again, they can't hit on 3rd and 1. That's happened a couple times today. Of course, we told you that if the Colts win, the winner here stays alive in the AFC playoff race.
Right now, things are going according to plan. If you're the Tennessee Titans, it's just as Jeff Fisher told us. Until they tell us we're out, we're going to keep fighting. And Gary Kubiak's group, boy, they've got a long mountain to climb.
4th and 1 right here. Look where they are at their 27. Andre Johnson, blockers ahead. He gets the first down out to the 31-yard line. They chased him well. There was some good blocking on the play. Finnegan got a hand on him. It's a gain of 4, and they'll move the chains for the Texans. The playoff picture in the AFC, and we've got a player down, and that is Jacob Ford. So we'll talk about the playoff picture when we return. Ford is down, injury timeout early in the 4th. Look at the very complicated AFC playoff picture. Boy, it's going to go to the final weekend again, isn't it, Solomon?
Yeah, absolutely. And the big game today, Pittsburgh and the New York Jets. That could help some shift and movement in the AFC playoff picture.
Working on Ford. They've brought in Hay on the line. It is a 1st and 10 from the 31. Schaub, back of his receiver. Andre Johnson, the coverage across the way by Finnegan. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Got a good sports fan on your gift list? What if you got a great sports fan on your gift list? It doesn't matter. CBSSports.com shop is officially licensed NFL gear. And get 3-day shipping on every order. Go to shop.cbssports.com. Well, we've had an interesting matchup today. Andre Johnson, who has not made a big dent in this game, although he did catch a touchdown on Finnegan, 12 yards away, but it's been quiet between those two today. 2nd down and 10. Foster the pitch. And the gain out to about this 36-yard line with the stop made by Griffin. It is a gain of 5. There was a pulling block on the play by Smith, and there's a look at Cortland Finnegan, and those are some of the numbers associated with today's matchup with Johnson.
Yeah, they're going after Cortland Finnegan. Thrown in his direction 10 times, 6 receptions when they've gone at him. He's only rendered 58 receiving yards, but did give up the touchdown.
It's 3rd down and 5. Finnegan again and Johnson. Bottom of your screen. Finnegan again. That sounds like a song. Here comes Sean. Oh! Knocked away from behind. Bavin was the one who got the cocked right shooting arm of the quarterback Schaub and stripped that ball away. And it looks like Wade Smith has jumped on it. It's a loss of 6. It is a sack. It's back. It's back to the 29. They called a sack, and it was not a pen. Let's see what this was again. Now, this is interesting.
Coming in from the backside while the hand is down. Take a look at it. There's Babbitt. I think that ball is out before the arm starts to move forward.
So what is the fumble? It was recovered by Houston. You can see jumping on it was the guard, Smith. So 4th and 1. Make it 4th and 11. They got to punt the ball. 4th and 11. With the sack, Mariani is back inside the 30, and Turk will pound this from the 20-yard line. Waving it off as Mariani, and it takes a Tennessee bounce that was finally collected as they were running upfield by Zach Dials. It is a 30-yard punt. Here comes Kerry Collins once again for the Titans. We sure haven't talked about Randy Moss much today for Tennessee.
Well, Collins has thrown to 8 different receivers, and Moss hasn't been targeted with any of the passing attempts by Kerry Collins. Look, hasn't been thrown to in the last 75 pass attempts by a Tennessee Titans quarterback.
That's 8 quarters. 1st and 10 after the punt by the Texans and Chris Johnson. Trying to work his way across the way, and Daryl Sharpton chases him down after a gain of 6 to the 48. Let's go to James Brown.
Hey, Kevin, Eagles finally with a touchdown on the scoreboard coming after a Mario Manningham fumble. Michael Vick hooking up here with Jeremy Maclin. 8-yard strike that makes it 24-10 Giants. That in the 4th. Back to Kevin Harlan and Solomon Wilcots.
Boy, you're never out of it if Michael Vick is your quarterback, are you?
Absolutely, and what a battle. 2 good teams between the Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Tied at 9 and 4. 2nd down and 4. Chris Johnson, who's had a lot of carries this season, not necessarily today. He was drilled on the play by Sean Cody. It's a loss of 2 to the 47, and back to James Brown in New York.
Jacksonville has narrowed it to a touchdown lead by Indianapolis. Play action, David Gaddard hooking up with Mike Sims Walker, 6-yard strike, capping a 7-play, 77-yard drive, 24-17 Indy. That in the 4th. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
Making it interesting, aren't they?
David Garrard and the Jacksonville Jaguars continuing to fight. This is probably one of the biggest games for the Jacksonville Jaguars in a very long time.
Ringer is in 3rd and 6 for Collins. Hit as he throws over the head of Gage. He was being chased on the near side by Glover Quinn. Collins and the offense out 3 and out. Just wrapping up Collins a little bit. his arm still looks terrific, as we talked about before. Why wouldn't you bring him back for next year in a backup role?
Yeah, I think it depends on the price, because obviously he'll be 38 years old, as you saw a wonderful throw there. But I still think he has a strong enough arm to compete. And as he told us, he says, hey, I know I can still play.
Kern to punt, and Jacoby Jones will wave it off. They're caught back at the 17. Collins has a big ranch in North Carolina. Loves riding the tractor. He may go back there after the season. Here comes Matt Schaub. Vince Young, the quarterback, had been absent since the Titans placed him on IR. He had thumb surgery. He left the locker room abruptly back on November 21 after the loss to the Redskins. The locker room may be divided if they want him back or what's going to happen to him, but sure enough, he was on the sideline today.
Yeah, no one knows what's going to happen, as his teammate Michael Griffin told us, who played with him at the University of Texans. You know what? The future is uncertain.
1st and 10 for Schaub. Across the grain, and that sails over Owen Daniels' head and out of bounds. There was a receiver in the vicinity, so it will not be intentional grounding. Tomorrow on CBS, get hooked on television's #1 news show, Hawaii Five-0. And congratulations to Golden Globe nominee Scott Conn. Don't miss Hawaii Five-0. That's tomorrow, and it's only on CBS. So Fisher and we know Vince Young have not seen eye to eye on some things.
Receiver number 81
he was
in the area.
That's right.
2nd down.
Yeah, they can boo all they want, but that was the right call. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and Michael Griffin, who I said played with him at the University of Texas, he says, look, I played with Vince since I was 18 years old. He's like a big brother to me, and says that, hey, you know, he wins a lot of football games. It's not pretty, but it's effective. He said, we welcome him back with open arms.
2nd down and 10. Walter hit by Griffin, drilled by Werner, who has a pick earlier in the game. That's an 18-yard pickup and a 1st down to the 35.
In the meantime, Matt Schaub in that offense for Houston still on the move, trying to attack this defense. They're going to have to get it going in a hurry, as time is so precious here in the 4th quarter.
Derek Ward is coming as a running back. It is 1st and 10. Jacoby Jones. Good move. Working on Griffin, has the 1st down. Finding the sideline, retreating there to the 46-yard line, and a gain of 12.
You know, we mentioned the lack of defensive weapons for the Houston Texans. I think that's the area that they're going to have to go into the offseason saying, how do we fix it? How do we get the kind of defense that can match our productivity on the offensive side of the ball, even though they've only scored 10 points. But, you know, Gary Kubiak's offense, it's a potent one. It's one that garners a lot of respect from coaches around the National Football League.
1st and 10, Ward remains. And on the money, Jacoby Jones hit over there by Will Witherspoon and by Werner. 11-yard pickup, and Jones gets his 2nd catch on this drive.
As you take a look at Matt Schaub and take a look at this offense, and we talk about some of the moves needed for the Texans to improve. Remember, they came into this season with very high expectations.
Really, both teams did.
Hoping to make the playoffs for the first time in franchise history. Appears as though they may fall short. If they fall in today's game, let's face it, they're eliminated from the playoff race.
1st down and 10 for Schaub. Looking for Daniels. Nice knocked away by Griffin. Grew up in Austin. And as Sally just said, played at the University of Texas. Well, if the Texans go on to lose, they'll miss the playoffs for the 9th consecutive year. And they will have their worst record since 2006.
And their owner, Bob McNair, has to make a decision in terms of what do they do moving forward. I don't think it's any doubt that you bring back Gary Kubiak. What he has brought to this team is an offense that's very potent. Now, you can overreact and try to jettison the head coach, but then you start the rebuilding process everywhere as opposed to just rebuilding the defense.
2nd down and 10. The blitz is on. Dropped by Ward. And you know what? The guy led with his helmet. Whoever came in on the side, and that was Witherspoon, led with his helmet, whacking Schaub, and that's the debris you see in the wake of that vicious hit.
No flag was thrown on the play. The officials apparently didn't see what you saw there, Kevin.
Well, let's see if
and here
I saw
he comes
right.
in.
Oh, that was.
And I think that's a legal hit. I don't know where. I mean, that's just my opinion. He came in head up, face mask up, and he goes down. But if you're Derek Ward, you're the running back, don't you have to reward your quarterback by making the catch? Mm-hmm. He's going to take a lick like that. Go ahead and reward him by making the catch.
Schaub is He's dizzy. Timeout, Houston. Schaub had to call the timeout to collect himself. Holding onto his arm as well. 3rd down and 10. Nice throw, Walter on a slant. And he's working on Jason McCourty. They're down to the 28, 15-yard pickup, and that is a 1st down as Schaub goes with no huddle here and Ward in the backfield.
He's able to shake off the cobwebs. Now he has the offense on the move.
1st and 10. Here comes Ford, and he got his hands. A flag is thrown. He may have been offsides. Jacob Ford may have been offsides for Tennessee. It was offsides.
Offside. Defense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
He was injured earlier. Now he's back in. Let's go back to that hit by Witherspoon.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. And you said you thought he led with the helmet. Now, remember, the officials got a good look at it back here. But look at this. Now, see, that's splitting hairs. His face mask is up. He's looking right into the chest of the quarterback. Now, does the top of his helmet maybe hit the bottom of the face mask? Yes, but he did not lead to the head of the quarterback. You can lead to the chest area, just not at the head.
1st and 5. More offsides. Douglas. You see how awkwardly Schaub went down on his right arm on that play when he was trying to cushion the fall?
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 99, is in the neutral zone, caused the offense to false start. Result of the play is a 1st down.
That's Marcus Douglas. He came down so funny on that arm, and that's what and it was hit too. I mean, he got it in the head and on the arm, and that's why he called the timeout.
I think it was the landing on his arm, and not only do you fall, but you bear the weight of the other defender, Will Weatherspoon, as you're falling, and you're talking upwards of 400 pounds of pressure on the arm of Matt Schaub.
It's 1st and 10. This drive started back at their 17th. Derek Ward, as he darts to about the 10 and moves the pile with him. All kinds of Titans had a hand on that tackle. It's a gain of 7 on the play. Looks like Douglas is at the bottom of that pile, number 99, and Tulloch. Go ahead.
Yeah, Houston refuses to quit. Take a look at the rushing yards today. And that's where I think the Titans defense has done a really good job, just not allowing them to run the football very well.
2nd and 2 with Ward. I was going to say, what about as Tulloch makes the stop there, the gain of 4 down to about the 7. Think about when Ward was there with Bradshaw and Jacobs in New York. That was a 3-headed monster running the ball.
Absolutely. It was they played at the same time in 07 when they went on to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Yep. It's 1st and goal at the 7. Schaub again with the that's deflected off the fingertips of Jacoby Jones. And on the carom, it was almost brought in on the ricochet by Hope. 2nd down and goal at the 7. In the landscape of the great quarterbacks, Solomon, in the NFL, where is Schaub in your opinion?
Well, I think he's up there in the top 10. Clearly. Well, he led the league in passing 1 year ago. 4,700 yards passing, and he was the MVP in the Pro Bowl. And I think when you put up close to 5,000 yards passing in a single season, now he's just got to prove he can win. I think at the end of the day, winning is the one thing that defines quarterbacks.
2nd goal at the 7, had a quick hitter up the middle, and Owens couldn't get it. And you see Ferner, who had a pick earlier in the game, a little bit woozy himself on that play, and that'll be 3rd and goal at the 7. Do you remember reading the preseason publications about both of these two teams, about the Texans and Titans? I mean, many people thought, this could be a preview to 2 of the best teams in the AFC.
There is no doubt about it. I mean, particularly with the Houston Texans, everyone thought they were probably going to be the heir apparent to win the division. But I think everyone said, wow, with the 4 teams in the AFC South, you knew they would be within 3 to 4 games of one another at the end of the season.
It's 3rd and goal at the 7. Schaub. And incomplete, looking for Owens, and a flag thrown. Let's see, Tulloch was right there, the linebacker, on the coverage of Owen Daniels.
Wow, tough call.
It was.
A real tough call. And now he's going to have his left hand on Owen Daniels as Daniels is trying to make separation. Now, let's understand the rule. You can touch him.
Defense, number 55. Spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
You're allowed to touch the receiver. You just can't prohibit him, okay, from making a catch on the ball. Watch this. And watch the left hand of Tullett. He hooked him. Absolutely. He did hook him with the left hand. So it's a good call by the officials. They understood how he kept Daniels from making the catch.
12th play of this drive. It's first and goal at the 1. Leach has come in to lead the way for Ward, and what a great defensive play with the fumble on the play. The hit was by Jason Jones.
They're saying he's down.
And they're saying the player was down. It's a loss of 2. They'll put him at the 4. Close. Witherspoon was at the bottom, but Jones made the initial hit, number 91.
Yeah, Ward's got to hold on to the ball. Devontae Leach, one of the best blocking fullbacks. There's that ball on the ground. You keep having the numbers jump up there, but yeah, that ball did come out. But maybe after Ward was already on the ground.
With a push back to the 4, second down and goal. And a red challenge flag is thrown by Jeff Fisher.
Yeah, Fisher, he has someone up in the booth who's going to relay to the coach what they're able to see via our camera work for CBS. They're going to relay it to the coach. Coach wants to take a look at it. You have to understand the coaches can't see everything from their vantage point on the sideline.
Coming into today, the Tennessee Titans have lost 6 consecutive games, and the Houston Texans have lost 6 of their last 7.
Tennessee is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was down by contact. Timeout.
So a challenge by Fisher. On the run by Ward. Is the knee down? Was the ball loose? We'll find out.
Welcome back. And you have to ask, did Derek Ward fumble the ball before his knee touched the ground? I think that's what you want to look at. Yes, the ball did come out, but there you see, I think the knee is down. Can't see if the ball is out just yet, but now the ball comes out. Okay, there you go. Now the ball comes out, but that knee appeared to be down first. Take a look. Okay, right there. Knee down. I think the knee is down, then the ball comes out. See, there you go, knee down.
Looked painful regardless. That leg was kind of put in an awkward position. This drive began back at the 17-yard line for the Houston Texans. Some of the big plays. Walter caught one for 18. Jones has caught a couple passes for 11 and 12 yards. Those are the big plays. As you take a look at our 2 coaches in the gray growing on the beard there of Jeff Fisher. A season driven by injuries and controversy at quarterback. It has been, I'm sure he'd say, one of the longest seasons in his very solid head coaching career.
Yeah, I don't think we saw anything that would overturn the call on the field. I think Kubiak and the Houston Texans will maintain possession of the ball.
You should say, too, these are 2 of the most well-liked coaches. You know, Fisher is just terrific to talk to, and Gary Kubiak is as nice as there is in this league. Of course, nice sometimes doesn't win games, and that's what some of his critics will say.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Runners down, it'll be second down. Tennessee will be charged its first timeout.
So Tennessee 0 of 1 on challenges today. Tennessee now has the 2 timeouts remaining.
And Jeff Fisher saying, hey, I'm just doing what I was told. He couldn't see it. He thought the ball was out, but every staff has a coach assigned upstairs where they're able to take a look at it and then relay the message down to the head coach as to whether or not they should challenge it.
Well, let's see what happens now. Second and goal at the 4. This defense has had a hard time stopping people in the red zone since midway through the season. Ward is in the backfield. Schaub is back to throw. Touchdown. Walter, 4-yard grab. A flag is down. He beat Griffin about a yard deep in the end zone. Let's see if Schaub's second touchdown pass will count.
Offside defense, number 93. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
So Walter grabs the touchdown, his 5th reception in the end zone this season.
Yeah, they got Babin Coming off the right end of your screen, he jumped into that neutral zone, but what a throw by Schaub. You like what you see from him. I mean, we've got some really good quarterback play. It's just a shame that the Houston Texans waited so long to get going on offense.
Here's the Rackers extra point, making it 31-17 with 6.5 to play here in the fourth. A flag was thrown. It's offsides on Tennessee. As you take a look at Kevin Walter.
Offside. Defense number 33. The extra point is good. We will assess the 5-yard penalty on the kickoff.
So tonight on 60 Minutes, a discovery about memory. People who have a remarkable ability to remember every day of their lives. What could it mean for the rest of us? Find out tonight on 60 Minutes only on CBS. I'm not sure that I'd want that. Remember every day of your life. It'll be interesting tonight, as it always is on 60 Minutes. So we've had the Andre Johnson-Cortland Finnegan matchup right in front of us all day.
Yeah, both have been model citizens, but Andre Johnson has caught the ball 6 times, 58 yards, including a touchdown. Finnegan has been in position most of the time, other than the touchdown allowed to Andre Johnson, who's found his way into the end zone. But both guys have given peace a chance. Yes, they have. I think they've been model citizens. I really believe so.
So Houston, I think they're going to try an onside kicker. This will be kind of interesting to see what kind of philosophy they use. There's Andre Johnson next to Jacoby Jones. They just can't seem to put a complete game together. That's kind of been the theme for a lot of the season.
I think it's the disappointing part of their year. And yeah, they're going to look to a lot of injuries that they sustained on defense, but defense has been their Achilles heel, much as kicking was their Achilles heel 1 year ago, and that's why they go from Chris Brown to Neil Rackers. They fixed that part, and now they need to fix the defense.
See what Rackers does. Little chip shot, and Gage, Justin Gage, who caught a touchdown pass earlier in the game, is the one to vacuum that in at about the 41-yard line for the Tennessee Titans. I mentioned before, he's a college basketball player. He was at the University of Missouri.
Yeah, watch Gage. He fights his way through traffic. Look at him, number 12 there, to get that ball. And all the white jerseys was waiting for the ball to advance 10 yards down the field. They couldn't touch it. And you have to give Gage credit with going to get it before it got beyond that 10-yard area where the Texans can recover.
Chris Johnson is in there. Boy, he's had a lot of touches this season. And going back to last year, at 400 combined receptions and rushes last year. He's over 360 this season. There's a 1st and 10 and another carry right here. And he's being chased outside and kind of falls on his own accord. Chased by Antonio Smith. And a gain of 2 for Chris Johnson. Solomon down to about the 38.
That's just intelligent running. You know, high football IQ is what you need from all your football players. The reason why he just goes down in that awkward fashion, he knows if he goes out of bounds, he's going to stop the clock. So you stay in bounds, and you see the rushing yards from both guys. The last time they played, only 5 yards rushing for Chris Johnson, a $143 for Arian Foster. Now they sort of roles reverse a little bit, where Chris Johnson leads the day with 90 yards rushing.
Hidden in that 90 yards, a 42-yard run by Chris Johnson.
Excellent run. They've taken Arian Foster out of the game.
On 2nd down and 6, here's Johnson once again. And hit on make it 2nd down and 8. Mark Anderson makes the stop there. Also getting some help from Antonio Smith. Anderson, gain of 3, and they put him down to about the 36-yard line. Houston has taken a timeout. The running of Chris Johnson is right in line, Solomon, with the many 1,000-yard rushers and seasons that they've had with this organization, at least, since '96 when Fisher was on board. 13 of the last 15 seasons, they've had a guy that has at least rushed for 1,000 yards. You mentioned Eddie George and some others along the way.
Well, it goes all the way back to the days of Earl Campbell, and Chris Johnson has his name etched right there with some of the best ever. And his 2006 rushing yards 1 year ago is best in franchise history, as good as Earl Campbell was in his best day. Take a look at those numbers as he's approaching Earl Campbell's numbers through the first 3 seasons. And he's getting close to that with 2 games remaining after that.
3rd and 5 for Collins. Lead block by the tight end Stevens. Chris Johnson was met on the play by Darryl Sharpton, among others. Also Okoye, that's a gain of a yard for Chris Johnson. Another timeout taken. The clock down to 5.5 to play here in the fourth quarter. So again, the AFC playoff picture and the relevance for this game here today. If the Colts go on to beat first place Jacksonville, then the winner here this afternoon stays in the mix for the playoffs. But if Jacksonville wins, they win the AFC South.
And I think it's important because you ask, okay, what happens if the Tennessee Titans are 8-8? What if Jacksonville and Indy are 8-8? And of course, the Texans can't finish 8-8 if they lose today. But if you're the Titans, you finish 8-8, you would win because of the record of common opponents over Indy and over Jacksonville. So right now, Tennessee, if they win out, kind of control their own destiny. Of course, they need both Indianapolis and Jacksonville to lose their remaining 2 ball games.
Here's a 4th and 4 from the 35. They blow that dead. They're going for Britt. Flag was thrown. I think false start Tennessee. I think that will be the call.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 18, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
We're just talking about that game. It's a 10-point lead. Peyton Manning with the 10-point lead at the 2-minute warning. I kind of like his chances in that kind of situation.
10-point lead, there's no doubt about it. I mean, let's face it, the Jacksonville Jaguars are built to run the football. I think that was their only chance of going into Indianapolis and winning that ball game.
That's sad. There was a send-off for that team in Jacksonville when they left for Indiana a couple days ago. I know their hopes were very high heading into that matchup.
They still have a shot to get in, but none better than the opportunity they had today.
That's blown dead. That will be a false start.
Offense, number 51, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
This is the second of the 2 meetings this season between these two. The Tennessee Titans lost to Houston, shut out, in fact, just after Thanksgiving down in Houston, 20-0. So it appears, as we stand here in a 31-17 game, and Jacksonville just scored.
Wow.
Now that was in the span of about 5 seconds.
That's the NFL. You just don't ever.
Isn't that something?
You cannot walk away. You can't turn away. Things change quickly.
No, you cannot turn away. McGrath was guilty for the Tennessee Titans. Burns punt, and Jacoby Jones about the 20-yard line, 27-yard punt. Well, coming up next, Mark Sanchez, who is really struggling, as are his Jets, trying to bounce back against Ben Roethlisberger and the division-leading Steelers. And some will see the Broncos and Raiders battle. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. This season, more people watch the NFL on CBS than any other network.
Baltimore will be rooting for the Jets in that game, and if you're the Patriots, you'll be rooting for Pittsburgh.
It's that simple.
It is that simple.
It is that simple. So Matt Schaub with Ward in the backfield, 1st down and 10. At the 20. Somebody moved there. There's a flag. That's Kevin Walter. He caught that touchdown pass in the last drive. The tackle on the play was made by Jason McCourty. It's a gain of 9 to the 30 as it stands now. It's going to be on Tennessee.
All right, at some point, if you're the Titans, as they continue to rack up one penalty after another, you got to play smart, and you can't jump off sides.
I don't think Houston has had a penalty in the second half.
The Titans are racking them up, keeping Gene Steratore very busy.
So at halftime, Houston had 9 penalties. They still have 9. 11 penalties on Tennessee, which makes it now 1st and 5 for Fisher's Titans, or for the Houston Texans. 1st and 5 for Schaub. And that was grabbed by Tulloch after the catch by Owen Daniels. 6-yard gain, 32-yard line.
And we got a playoff without a penalty.
Yeah. 1st down. Schaub. Nice knock away by Griffin. That was intended for Jacoby Jones. You know, some people may ask, and of course, if Tennessee goes on to win, they stay alive, as does the winner in this game if the Colts win. But, you know, every play is on tape. Every coach, every personnel guy can see exactly what you've done when the chips were down. So for these individual players, if not for the team.
Especially in a league where there's a lot of player movement.
It's big, exactly.
You know, the collective bargaining agreement, that's up in question. So there's going to be players that are going to be kind of out in limbo. Other teams are going to be evaluating your performance.
Here's a 2nd down and 10 for Shaw. And getting the oncoming tackle by Vernon is Ward. And he runs close to a first down near the 42-yard line. Picks up about 10 on the play.
Schaub understands how to survive. It's not open down the field. Go to your check down very quickly. Get it over to Ward. If you get it to him soon enough, he can make the first guy miss and pick up a first down.
Schaub over 300 yards passing this afternoon. 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. He is 33 of 48. He threw 62 passes in the game Monday night in Houston against Baltimore.
He's completed 25 passes at least in his last 3 games against the Titans.
Here's a 1st and 10. That's caught on a slide by Dreesen in front of the linebacker Witherspoon to the 49-yard line. 8-yard pickup.
And those numbers we just gave you means Schaub is throwing the ball a lot, but he's completing a lot of his passes, and he's allowing this offense to really open up.
2nd down and 2 to the 8-yard pickup, and that is caught. Walter on the sideline, right in front of Hope, and Dreesen could have had it, and then he quickly brought his hands back down. Watch this, the tight end is right in front of the wide receiver.
Yeah, watch the number 85. Watch Joe Dreesen. Watch him pull his hands down. He must have known this ball wasn't for him. He says, my quarterback is so accurate, he would never throw it that high to me. There's no way. Watch him pull the hands down.
That's a good deal.
That is just smart. Very smart, man. Great awareness by Joe Dreesen.
From the 33, 1st and 10. Sean, 1 hacks it off to Johnson. Incomplete. Tulloch was defended. 2nd down and 10.
Now we talked to these Houston Texans. How do you bounce back so quickly after playing a game on Monday night in overtime, an extra quarter of play, then you go on the road to play the Tennessee Titans? You have to bounce back very quickly. And you know, many of them say the older you get, you know, the longer it takes for the body to bounce back. And for Gary Kubiak's bunch, they said that much of this week was about mental reps, mental practice, trying to refresh the body to get ready to go to that.
2nd down and 10. That's short, wide, and incomplete. Remember now that Tennessee played last Thursday. Think about the time they've had off.
We always talked about it when we were players. Fresh legs win the day. the team with the fresh legs, and clearly you look at the scoreboard, the way the Titans came out and played and took it to Houston. Houston appeared to be lethargic in the early going, only having 6 days to prepare. You give the Titans 10 days, they appear to be the much fresher team from the outset of this ball game.
Texans have it 3rd down and 10 at the Titans 33. There's a flag. It'll be on Tennessee. That's intercepted and picked off on the play. Some nice blocking ahead. Look at McCourty getting blocks. Going the distance. How about that? Jason McCourty, an 87-yard return, but it's going to be on Tennessee. They're going to bring it back. It's not going to count.
Matt Schaub never even gave chase.
No, he knew. He knew.
You wonder, why did he return it for a touchdown? Half the Texans were just standing there looking.
Offside. Defense, number 93,
Babin.
Familiar story.
Replay 3rd down.
Well, that's why I was hesitant on the call, and I'm surprised they didn't, of course, wave it off or just blow the whistles and make it a dead play. But they watched it to fruition and got the home crowd, got their blood going on this cold day.
We said it earlier in the possession. You got to be smart. Look at Schaub. I'm not chasing. See, he's smart. He says, well, I can get some rest. Let those guys tire themselves out by running down there. We know it's all coming back. Thanks to Jason Babin, Matt Schaub in this offense gets another shot. We said it earlier in the possession. At what point does Jeff Fisher's defensive lineman get it? At what point did they say, hey, you got to play smarter? The penalties just here in the second half, 9 on the Tennessee Titans.
All for the game, 3rd and 5. On the 28. That's incomplete. Good coverage. Andre Johnson was being covered by linebackers. They had Tulloch in front, and they had Will Witherspoon in back. So now it'll be 4th down, and they're going to go for it, obviously. 4th down and about 5, and they need the 23. Houston's out of timeout, so if they don't convert here, the Tennessee Titans, you can see what they've done on 4th down this season and today. Tennessee Titans will take over.
Now, if you're Tennessee, don't jump off sides.
4th and 5 to the end zone. And that was caught but out of bounds. Grabbed by Dickerson, who is a rookie from Pitt. And with no timeouts, the offense will trudge to the sideline. Here come the Titans on offense, and Tennessee will take over on down.
After McCourty ran it all the way back, tiring himself out, they take a shot at him. And they did have a step. But see how Dickerson faded away from the ball as opposed to fading back into it? He could have really made some contact with McCourty. Probably would have caught that ball coming down inbounds. I think the more veteran receiver understands that. You can't fade away out of bounds. You've got to work your way back to the ball.
And Kubiak with some words to Dickerson.
Go Titans!
So 1st and 10, Kerry Collins has thrown 2 touchdown passes today. Chris Johnson working his way out to about the 32-yard line, and he picks up 4. Cushing was right there, and look at Indianapolis. They've scored again with under a minute to play, and they lead the Jacksonville Jaguars by 10.
So Jacksonville pull within 3, 24-27, but Peyton Manning gets the ball. What does he do? Go back and put more points on the board to secure the victory. Peyton Manning, you give him a chance. Whoever made the play to put the points on the board for the Indianapolis Colts, I think it's very critical that they were able to win that ball game at home against Jacksonville.
Full house backfield on 2nd down and 6. Johnson outside. Chris Johnson with space, getting a block from his wide receiver Williams, and he swerves to the 49 of Houston. A 19-yard pickup, and Chris Johnson has now got 115 on the ground this afternoon.
111 yards rushing 10 days ago against Indy. Now he tops 100 yards. And this is just good patience. You know he has speed. He doesn't have to turn it on until he needs it. He gets into the open field, just picks his way. As you can see, 20th time, 100 yards rushing in a single game.
8 times this season he's gone over 100 yards. And 1st and 10. Keeping the clock ticking. Going to hit the 2-minute warning after this carry by Chris Johnson. And he was grabbed up high and taken down hard by Damian Williams after the gain of 3 to the 46. 2-minute warning. Well, the Colts hold on as Jacksonville made it interesting late. And a 10-point win for the Colts means they are still alive. It means Jacksonville is still right now in a position to make that division theirs, but it's going to be a little bit tighter. And the Titans, if they go on to win, and it looks like they will here. 1st and 10 handoff goes to Chris Johnson. Slashing through. Pollard got him, and Nolan brings him down. 10-yard gain. He's down to the 36-yard line. So with the Colts winning, Titans win. They are still alive, but let's take it even a little bit deeper than that.
Absolutely. Well, they got what they needed. Indy was able to beat Jacksonville, and now the Titans have to hope both Jacksonville and Indy lose their last 2 ball games. But guess what? If you're the Titans, you have something that you can say about it. You have that in your control because you play on the road at Indianapolis in Week 17.
Indianapolis and Jacksonville are tied now for first place. At 8-6 victory formation. And with a couple of touchdown passes today. Chris Johnson was terrific as always on the ground, with 130 yards and 24 carries. And the Titans, with the win, will stop a 6-game losing streak. They will go to 6-8.
For some reason, they brought Jason Babbitt into the game. I don't know if that's good or bad, what we've seen from Babbitt jumping off sides. The offense is on the field, but the defensive end comes into the ball game.
No, it is. Sometimes they promise these defensive guys, you have 1 or 2 plays, I'll put you on offense.
He's back in victory formation behind. Remember the days of Joe Posarchik and the New York Giants?
So some offense there for Babin. A high five with Hayes. These 2 division rivals, and there's a lot of energy and emotion between them in very disappointing seasons. 2 coaches kind of in the same seat right there, Fisher and Gary Kubiak. Randy Moss did not catch a ball today for a second consecutive game. Terry Collins was terrific, and the Tennessee Titans beat the Houston Texans 31-17. For Solomon Wilcott's Kevin Harlan saying so long from Nashville. Wishing you all a very happy holiday and a Merry Christmas. Coming up next, most of you will see the Jets take on the Steelers. From Nashville, you've been watching the NFL on CBS.